the action from all the biggest games.
Oh, it's a second goal!
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. What a game we kicked off with today. Hibs 2, Celtic 1. So much quality, so many talking points. You can catch the highlights on Sports Scene this evening, 7:15 on BBC Scotland. Plenty more to come this afternoon. We've been around the grounds for the Premiership team news. Let's drop into the Championship. Let's check in with Chick Young. Good afternoon to you, Chick. You're at Somerset Park for what looks like another belter of a game for you.
Absolutely, Kenny. It's a thrilling chase at the top. Let's remind you of the situation. Falkirk, who won last night, stretched the lead at the top to 5 points, but they played a game more than Ayr and Livingston, who meet here this afternoon. Falkirk on 53 points, Ayr on 48, Livy on 46 points. After today, they'll all have 9 games left in the run-in to this title. Already there's been drama at Ayr United this afternoon. I have to say that there's been an injury to Jamie Murphy in the warm-up. He's had to be replaced by Cole McKinnon in the Ayr United team. Jamie Murphy was back in the side from the start-up. And what is also abundantly clear is that Scott Brown is not a patient man with goalkeepers. Harry Stone has been dropped. He's had 6 shutouts in the last 7 games. He did make a mistake last week at Falkirk. He's been binned. And Robbie Much, who was out on loan at Stranraer, is back in at the start today. And that's the 4th goalkeeper Scott Brown has used in his Ayr United team this season. It's been a glorious sunny start to the afternoon, but just as the game was about to kick off here, the skies have darkened. It's going to be a dramatic afternoon, however way this unfolds. The matches have been terrific, Ken, as you know, in this championship run-in. I am poised for another thriller this afternoon. Let the drama begin.
Yeah, you've had some great games, Chick. He'll bring us all the news from Somerset Park. Gully Singh will do the same from the game at Firhill. Partick Thistle up against Airdrie. Good afternoon to you, Gully. Looking forward to this one?
Yes, Kenny, of course it's life after Chris Dillon with Brian Graham and Mark Wilson acting as interim Thistle management following the club's legend's departure. Graham returns to the squad after serving a suspension in the defeat at Kirkcaldy. Given Morton's loss last night, this afternoon presents the opportunity for Thistle to return to winning ways against bottom club Airdrie and cement their spot in 4th. 2 wins and a draw in the last 3 suggest that Airdrie's positive form might just be coming at the right time, but they are 10 points behind Dunfermline. But if there's to be a new manager bounce coupled with the home support, Thistle could well find a response against the relegation threatened Diamonds, who last won here back in 2009. The game's just kicked off. Thistle in possession. Yeah, currently Partick Thistle, Airdrie 0-0.
Thanks to Gully Singh. Let's get back to Willie Miller at Pittodrie. Didn't Willie get much of a chance to have a chat with you there pre-match as we were jumping around the grounds? Yeah. The game at Easter Road went on a bit, albeit it was an absolutely fantastic encounter. We'll hear the managerial reaction later in the programme. What did you make of the Dons last weekend, Willie, when they returned to winning ways in the league?
Yeah, I thought they were a little bit better than what they have been. I don't think it was an outstanding performance. I thought Dundee were always kind of in the game and had a number of opportunities. But it's a new team that Jimmy Tulane is putting together, new players coming in, and you do need to give them a little bit of time. I mean, the Keskinen goal was just superb. It was a fabulous strike, well worthy of winning any game. They're looking more solid at the back, I would suggest. Jimmy Tulane doesn't change his formation. It's been the same formation that he's played since coming to the club, with the 4 at the back and the 2 sitting, and then 1 off the main striker and 2 wide players. So I think it was an improvement, and obviously a major relief to get the victory. There's no doubt about that. But they've got to continue. They've got to take that 3rd place, which is quite amazing, Kenny, isn't it? When you think 14 without a win, and you get 1 win and you go back into 3rd place in the league. So they've got to try and build on that today. The fans have been magnificent. There was a magnificent turnout down at Dens, and they're in their numbers here in this sun-kissed Pittodrie, would you believe it?
Oh, it sounds great. It's a lovely day across the country this afternoon. So good to see. It's an interesting one, Rory. Kilmarnock, I feel, in the back of one of the best performances of the season last Saturday. It'll be tight up there, you'd expect, at Pittodrie.
Yeah, I think it will be tight, and there's so much to play for, but everything's so tightly grouped that a win is so big, and it can move you so many places up the table if you find yourself slightly further down the league. But Derek McInnes, generally speaking, comes to the fore. His sides come to the fore at this time of the season. There's every chance they could make the top 6. I think if Aberdeen are going to win today, it'll be by the odd goal, but nothing, it wouldn't surprise me if Kilmarnock walked away with a point.
Yeah, and speaking of the game in Dingwall, Leanne, John Robertson's had a huge game for both clubs there today. How concerning for Dundee fans right now? They're currently in that relegation playoff spot.
I know, which is strange. I mean, I felt the job that Tony Docherty was doing at the club was really good. They just seem to have lost their way. Perhaps it was just that kind of momentum they had carried, certainly going from the Championship up to the Premiership, having the wonderful season in which they did. It's then a hard act to follow. Can you continue to do that as well? Teams start to suss you out, they start to work out the way you play, they find a way to go and combat your kind of tactical play and everything that you do. So Dundee have got to find a way, though. I still think they've got a decent group of players and can get themselves out of the spot that they find themselves in, but with that you need results. And we know the model, we've spoken an awful lot about it as well. Tony Docherty almost felt like every season he was going to need to try and rebuild.
There we go, John Robertson.
And just as you're talking about a good time in there, Leanne, it's Simon Murray. It's a brilliant goal. Dundee have worked it, they've rolled it in, he's in the inside 8 position. He's just used the defender, he's bent it into Amisa's top left-hand corner. Ross County 0, Dundee 1.
That's a bit of magic you're after, John, right enough, isn't it? When the chips are down, you're looking for a response for your players. Tony Docherty mentioning this week that there had been honest conversations, was it?
Honest conversation.
Well, there you go. Sometimes that's what it takes, just to have a proper sit down, iron out a few issues maybe within the team, and you look for that quick response. You look to get off the mark. We've seen Falkirk do it last night in the Championship game, and it's a great hit from Simon Murray. It really is a really cultured finish.
Do you know what I loved about that? Simon Murray is the most enthusiastic celebrator in the world. He started celebrating, realised he was playing against, apologised to the Ross County fans.
I hate that nonsense.
Then went on to celebrate even more, so it was a hybrid.
Not having that at all. Let's get to Ibrox. Billy Dodge is there for us this afternoon. What's happening in the early stages, Billy?
Yeah, Rangers have started well, you'd expect it. After that result coming through, as I said, from Easter Road, they're getting the full backs high, because obviously St Mirren are playing a 3-5-2, a 3-5-1-1, and they're putting a couple of crosses at the corner just a few seconds ago, Kenny, and they put it in, and it was to the edge of the box. Had your headers at Diamande, who's standing about 4 yards, heads it. It's a brilliant save from Zach Hemming, but it was offside anyway. But St Mirren have a free kick. It's flittered away the chance, but Rangers have started the better team, more possession, created that chance. It was offside. That's been a bit out so far.
Yes, so Simon Murray with the first goal in the 3 o'clock kickoffs on 4 minutes. Ross County 0, Dundee 1. Let's get to their city neighbours. Dundee United, they're at home to Motherwell this afternoon. Alan Preston is there for us. What's happening, Alan?
Nothing much so far, Kenny, apart from the new Motherwell manager, which was a topic of conversation, has got jeans on the day. What's the problem? People in the press box are saying he's got jeans on. No problem at all with that. Nice and relaxed. He's out in the touchline, encouraging his side. No chances so far at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, Motherwell 0.
Hugo Boss, Alan.
I wouldn't know, Willie. There's no designer that doesn't get in my wardrobe.
Armani.
Listen, they won't care what he's wearing as long as they get a win today.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the
problem?
thing.
I think it was the whitewash jeans that was the issue for folk. I think black or navy might have got away with him, but I think the fact he's gone whitewashed, it's thrown the cat amongst the pigeons up there.
Can I just say
I
as
hope
well,
the pinches haven't done anything to do with the whitewashing.
see, in terms of the league table, Kenny, you kind of, when we're talking about St Mirren, you see, Stephen Robinson did a great job, top 6, and Dundee maybe struggling a little bit, find themselves 11th, and it's all about that league table in perspective, how tight it is. That goal for Dundee takes them within 2 points of St Mirren, so it just shows how tight things are and how quickly it can change.
Okay, you're talking about Philip Clement before the game started there. It makes perfect sense now that he didn't lose his job, because if Rangers have to pay him off, then they put someone else in, then new owners come in and they want someone else, so they have to pay him off. It makes perfect sense to me why Philip Clement is still in place.
Alan, at what point, if they are going to make the change, would they make that in terms of looking at recruitment for next season?
I think when the takeover's done, which they hope to be done in June.
They can appoint an interim though, if they think it's going to make a difference on the pitch though, after a result like
you're
Queen's
going to have
Park.
to then pay him off again, Rory. That's the problem.
No, I appreciate that. You're going to have to do that in the summer regardless.
Yeah, but if you do it in the summer, you're then having to pay 2 off.
No, but if you appoint an interim manager from within, is what I'm saying.
Butler's had a nightmare. Oh, what a save though. Oh, my word.
Yes, Billy.
Well, He looked shaky. He got a cross before that and he dropped it. Then he's got the ball at his feet. He passes it straight to Ayunga, who hits the shot. He's blocked it. He's redeemed himself. It then comes to Mandaron, and he's hit a kind of half volley. It's just going over the crossbar anyway, but he gets another touch on it, and it's a corner kick to St Mirren. Big let off for Rangers and Jack Butland.
What on earth was he doing there?
Don't know.
I mean, that's Leanne, you're watching these pictures. I mean, that's incredible from Jack Butland. So lucky to get away with
really
it.
Really poor. He's had a shaky number of months now, Jack Butland. He's had a few really big moments, whether it's been his handling, his kicking, moments under pressure. He's not been the player that I felt he was last season. Certainly coming into the club, and probably was a shining light at points when performances weren't great, but his distribution there is chronic. I mean, it almost looks like he's setting up an opportunity just to go and make a good save, which he eventually does.
Cove Rangers 0, Dumbarton 1. Carlo Pignatelli with a goal there on 5 minutes, and just confirmation that early goal for Dundee. Ross County 0, Dundee 1. Simon Murray after 4 minutes in that game. Let's drop into the Championship. Chick Young gave this one the big builder. What's happening in the early stages at Somerset, Chick?
Well, I'm very envious of the tropical weather that Willie's got off at Pittodrie, because the Costa Clyde is absolutely sleeting it down now. It was beautiful here when that came at lunchtime. It is battering down in Somerset Park, really. And in fact, the water's beginning to lie in bits of the pitch. Anyway, the football, it's been mostly United getting forward, a lot of possession. There was a chance rattled across. George Holgate just couldn't get on the end of it. I think eventually the flag went up for offside. In any case, that's been the best chance. Stevie May was in, lost his touch a wee bit, the ball just slipped away from him. Great, exciting stuff, end to end. Remember, a huge prize. They both want to stay in touch with Falkirk. They don't want them disappearing over the horizon in terms of the run-in to the Championship. And it's Livingston getting forward now, still 0-0 though between Ayr United and Livy.
Chick, you watch a lot of the Championship. Do you think Livingston can afford to lose today?
I was thinking about that. I do think that this is they want of the teams that played last night and today. I think they need the one most of all just to stay in touch. We know it's a 3-horse race, Rory. I think, if they lose today, you would have begun to think, it's a 2-horse race now between Falkirk and Ayr United. The games are, remember the Championship season finishes way ahead of the Premiership. There are only 9 games left after today. It is getting into the home straight.
And even after only 3 or 4 games, where does Scott Arfield sit in the best signings in the Championship?
Fantastic. That could be the difference. Yeah, he's been really, really good. Let's get to... On you go, Chick.
I was just going to say, you begin to wonder what other clubs, maybe a league up, might have thought about bringing him back.
Yeah, listen, and we heard that interview you did with him on his return, Chick. Fantastic. And we saw him on Sports Scene last night. Speaks so well, and he is delighted to be back at Falkirk. A chance here at Ibrox, Billy Dodds.
Yeah, it was. Radcliffe Tierney cutting him from the right hand side and hit a really stinging left foot shot. And Hennon saw it come through a few bodies. He saw it late, but he blocked it away with maybe his thighs eventually, or his legs, and got it away. It was a good strike though, and a decent save.
Well, the touch from Iggaman in the middle of the pitch to set that chance up, Billy, was wonderful. What do you make of him in the number 10? Do you like him in there?
I think yes is the answer to that, Rory, because see, when he plays him with a lone striker, he's no discipline at times. He's a really good player, Iggaman. I'm not playing that down, but he just drifts everywhere, and then Rangers have got no focal point. As soon as he plays with Dessers, I think he becomes a better player, and he's drifted all over already in this game. Looked dangerous, and his touches are phenomenal at times, but as a lone striker sometimes he just loses that discipline.
Let's get to Gully Singh. He's at Firhill this afternoon. Partick Thistle at home to Airdrie. What's happening there, Gully?
Yeah, Kenny, still currently Partick Thistle 0, Airdrie 0. All the early possession for Airdrie. Adam Frizzell orchestrating a few moves. Thistle struggling to get a hold of the ball, but they've got possession at the moment. They had a few crosses in, but nothing really to write home about. Still currently 0-0.
What are your thoughts, Leanne? Let's start with you. Your thoughts, Leanne, on the sacking of Chris Doolan. It's been interesting watching social media in recent weeks, and similar, I think, to the situation David Gray and Hibs fans found themselves in, that they felt things weren't going the way they wanted to go. He's a club legend, and I think things have turned in recent weeks. They weren't enjoying calling for Chris Doolan to go, but it seemed to be met with the feeling it was the right decision. Change had to be made.
Yeah, and that's almost the consensus that I've kind of seen as well and arrived at, Kenny, when I look at the comments. I've spoke to a couple of Thistle fans as well and how they were feeling around the performances and the results and the squad itself, albeit I think the problems run a bit deeper than just the managerial situation. I don't know if a lot of fans are really quite comfortable with the way the club's been ran just now. Recruitment, they feel, was a huge letdown with regard to the players that they lost last season and not replacing them with the same level of quality. So there's been an accumulation of things going on at Partick Thistle, and the reality is Chris Doolan is the fall guy for that. They find themselves in a position just now where you get a couple of teams breathing down their neck, Raith Rovers being one of them, and off the back of that result last week, I think that 3-0 defeat makes it really difficult for Chris to come back from. But as we've mentioned on the show already, a club legend, he's given his heart and soul to the club, and for him it must have been a really sad day that was the decision that the club arrived at, and ultimately loses his job. But it'll be really interesting to see how they respond, and with the group of players that they've got, have they got enough to really hold on to that playoff spot? We've grown accustomed to Partick Thistle being there. That's the way the championship's been. We spoke about it 6 years. The programme has been running on the BBC Scotland, that we've been covering it, and every season virtually Partick Thistle have been there and thereabouts. So they've got a squad, I think, strong enough to hold on to that position. They've just clearly not had a squad strong enough to compete for the title this season, which has been the big hammer blow to the Thistle fans.
Yeah, you should certainly Kenny. Is the answer to Partick Thistle's problem? Is he not in this programme today in another Back to the Future situation, working for us at Ibrox?
Mr. McCall, well, he's in commentary duty at the moment. I know also, Chick, I felt they were talking about having a sort of director of football role there, and I wonder if that would be the one that Ian McCall would be most interested in. I'm not sure, but I wonder what the Thistle fans would think about the return of Ian McCall to the club. It's certainly a great job, isn't it?
It is, Kenny. Has Brian Graham got enough jobs himself?
He's basically just running Partick Thistle, top to bottom, both men and women.
Ladies manager, men's manager.
Penalty! No!
Oh, yes, Chick.
No! Oh, claims for penalty for United. Ball definitely hit the hands of, I'm not quite sure what Livy defender it was, confirm that in a second or two. Looked to me like a penalty. The referee waved play on, but Ayr United claiming for a penalty kick there. I think it was Ryan McGowan. Ball just skidded up, hit in the hand. Referee said it played him. No penalty, still 0-0.
Just one game in the top flight that kicked off at 3 o'clock has a goal. It's come in Dingwall. Ross County 0, Dundee 1. The visitors, John Robertson, good value for that?
No, actually.
No?
To be fair, no. I mean, they've been up the part one's a brilliant goal, but it's been all County. They've got about six or seven corners. They're really whipping it in on top of the keeper. He's had to make 3 good saves, to be fair. You've had Hardman had a shot saved, then Hale, and then just a couple of minutes ago Conor Randall hit one from 20 yards, which McCracken's tipped past the post. So County have responded really, really well, but it was a brilliant goal. But just hitting what everybody else is saying, is that this week is so crucial. The games that the teams have got to play each other. Ross County are struggling at home, but they've solved their away form. But they go to St Johnstone midweek, and then they've got Kilmarnock. Dundee have got St Johnstone in that run as well, and play Motherwell. So, I mean, 2 or 3 results this week could really shove you up the table, or looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, so tight. We're absolutely loving that. So many interesting games, as John said, today. And, of course, there's a game on Tuesday and 5 games open on it. Yes, take it away, Gully.
Of course, it had to be the captain, it had to be the interim manager, Brian Graham. He just hit Airdrie on the break there. It was just a ball from Ben Stanley out to Canelo Megwa. He fed it into the path of Brian Graham. He slotted it in the bottom left-hand corner. So, yeah, it's the interim manager with, I believe it's number 12 of the season. It's Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie now.
Yeah, fantastic. They certainly need that today, because there are teams breathing over their shoulder in terms of that last spot in the playoffs there. A chance there at Ibrox. Billy Dodds.
Yeah, it was offside though, Kenny. It was a brilliant ball from Rascal. A straight ball right down the middle. Good bend and run from Cyril Dessers. He's in at the angle, left foot from about 5-6 yards, but Hemming blocks it at the near post anyway, but offside.
Alan Preston, apart from the jeans, what have you seen from the new manager at Tannadice this afternoon? How's he shaping his side up?
A black jacket he's got on as well, Kenny. That's all I've seen. It's not been great fare again, unfortunately. He's playing with a flat back 4. I spoke to 1 or 2 guys that knew him, and they said he prefers to play 3 at the back. You can only do that if you've got the personnel, but today it seems to be like a flat back 4, try to move his full backs on if he can. Wilson one side and O'Donnell the other. So that's what he'll be hoping to try and do, but it's very early days for him yet. You don't even know everyone's name. Yeah, I would imagine, although I think he was at Tynecastle last week, so he did see a game last weekend, and he's been watching a lot of videos, but it's going to take a bit of time here, and people have got to give him a chance. Folk get really sceptical when someone comes from abroad into Scottish football.
Judge, goal!
Yes, John.
Equaliser for Ross County. It's a long ball. Dundee don't defend this at all. It's right to the back. It's knocked back in by Phillips. And it's Hale that puts the ball at the back of net. 17 minutes gone. Ross County 1, Dundee 1.
That's a good response from Ross County, John. It really is.
They deserve it. Honestly, they battle back, and they say it's a long ball, comes a long, long way. And I think Mulligan gets caught underneath it, Leanne, and it's just knocked back across goal, and it's just a tap in at the back post.
Yeah, it's a really deep delivery, but Ross County do well to keep it alive. Certainly the ball travels some distance. Tony Docherty would be expecting these players to defend, if not the first contact, certainly the second, being switched on to the runners coming into the box. But Ross County very much at it, and it just feels that, I mean, this game might play out and prove me wrong, but feels as if they've turned a massive corner under Don Cowie just now. They've got a real bit of momentum about them. I think the style of play and belief about themselves as well, John.
Yeah, the problem they've got at the moment, Leanne, is that things have gone from top to tail. They were really, as you know, Fortress Dingwall for the last few seasons, a really, really strong home record, won the majority of their points appeared, couldn't get a win on the road. Suddenly they've found that magic formula away from home. They've won 4 of the last 5. They've not won at home since November the 23rd.
I think that's actually a cracking pass, the longer ball. He lifts his head and finds him at the back stick, heads it back across, and Phillips knocks it in. I think it's an unbelievable ball to the back post. I don't think it's a long ball. I think it's just a zinged pass. Really good.
So Dundee level in Dingwall, Dundee United level at home to Motherwell. Alan was speaking there, Rory, about the new manager Michael Wimmer. I know you've been having a wee look at what he likes to do with this side.
Yeah, I mean, obviously manager of Austria Vienna. He took over from a very popular, his predecessor was very popular, so he's come into a club where there's been split opinion on a manager leaving, as I think we can describe Stuart Kettlewell's leaving Motherwell. Some may have wanted it but others didn't, but I don't think anyone would have wanted the way it happened to happen. So yeah, as far as I can see, he likes to play a 3. He likes to play with a main striker. One striker he did have moved on to Hertha Berlin and then on to Hoffenheim, so he was unbelievable for him at Vienna. When he left, he tried to replace him, almost that Sam Dalby type player who brings people into play and gets men around him. Don't think Maswinisi is that type, so it'll be interesting to see when he does get the opportunity to bring players in, whether he goes with that type of option with a big strong player up front. So 4-3-3 I think is his, as far as I could see, was his favoured, maybe 3 at the back at times, but anything I did read, the journalists over in Austria, different things, say they didn't know much about Motherwell in fairness, but they all name-checked Lennon Miller and saying that everyone on the continent knows just how big a talent he is.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You'd expect serious offers to come in for him in the summer. Let's get to Pittodrie. Aberdeen at home to Kilmarnock. Willie Miller is there for us. What's happening, Willie?
Yeah, there's not a great deal. I think it was Brad Lyons.
It's offside.
Hell of a job trying to make out the numbers, to be honest, Kenny.
Yeah.
In Kilmarnock, but it's been pretty even, I would suggest. I think both teams have had a share of possession, not too many, in fact, not really any clear-cut chances. A couple of long-range efforts, some good build-up play from both teams. So we're still waiting on that breakthrough.
What a ball!
Oh!
Yeah, big chance for County. Harmon doesn't even look up, just whips it in there, floats it into the back post. Akil Wright, the opposite wing back, just couldn't get on the end of it. So 1-1.
Thanks to John Robertson there. Let's get back to Ibrox. St Mirren are there this afternoon. How are Rangers and St Mirren doing in the early stages, Billy?
Yeah, Rangers with a lot of possession, but I'll tell you, St Mirren look comfortable, Kenny. This is the best I've seen them play, keep the ball pass. I know they've had some good results and some poor results, but sometimes they've been accused of sometimes a long ball, but they've got the ball down today, they've passed it about, they look really comfortable, they look as if they're enjoying the occasion. Rangers have created, but St Mirren have looked dangerous at times as well.
Yes, Alan.
Maswinisi, it's just a long ball from Balcom from his feet, and it goes over the top of Adeboyega's head. If his touch is better, he's through one-on-one with the keeper. Just a heavy touch.
He does really well, actually, Alan. Just the touch lets him down. Some distribution for the goalkeeper.
So in the lunchtime kick-off, it finished Hibs 2, Celtic 1. An absolutely fantastic game. Watch that one on Sports Scene this evening. Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 0, Motherwell 0, Rangers 0, St Mirren 0, Ross County 1, Dundee 1. In the Championship this afternoon, Ayr United 0, Livingston 0, Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 0, Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 0, Brian Graham with that goal. Raith Rovers 0, Hamilton Accies 0. In League 1 this afternoon, Annan Athletic 0, Alloa Athletic 0, Cove Rangers 0, Dumbarton 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 0, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 1. 5:30 start Stennismuir. They're at home to Arbroath. In League 2 this afternoon, no goals. Bonnier Grows against Forfar, Clyde against Spartans, East Fife against Peterhead, Elgin City, Edinburgh City, Stranraer, Stirling Albion. All these games are goalless this afternoon. Now, we think for our pundits, I was in here covering the Celtic game. Fantastic performance on Tuesday night in Munich, and at the end, when that equaliser went in right at the death, the picture of these Celtic players, so many of them just crashed to the turf, absolutely devastated. So let me go around our pundits between now and half time to get the memory of the game that left the most sour taste in your mouth, the absolute gut-wrenching defeat or draw as it was for Celtic the other night. That was a struggle to get over. Ronnie, you kick us off.
Yeah, 2015 Scottish Cup final, one each with about 10 minutes to go, and they were down to 10 men. We had the momentum, we got a little bit overexcited and probably pushed up higher than we should have. David McCracken slipped in the halfway line. Jamie McDonald, who was brilliant in the semi-final, made a wee mistake. James Vincent tapped it in, and that was Scottish Cup kind of gone for us. So yeah, heartbreaking.
Took a while to go over.
Aye, I mean the reruns do come round every now and then in Sky, and it's still you can't watch it. Genuinely, you can't watch it. I mean, at the time, you don't get many opportunities to win a major domestic trophy, and especially playing in a club in the Championship, and we were within touching distance. And you look back and reflect, and you get over defeats relatively quickly, game to game if they happen. But that one was, I still don't even like thinking about it.
Leanne, I think yours could be easy to predict. France?
Go on then. Yep.
Yes, France.
Scotland against Argentina.
Yep.
3-0 up. 3-3 out the World Cup.
How long did
well, 67 minutes on the clock, wasn't it, that game? So we crumbled, and obviously the VAR situation, whatever else. There's moments in that football that just, we would have been the first national team to progress from a group at a major tournament. So frustrating, horrible. Took a bit of time. Still, like Rory, flashbacks, moments, or when you look at the disappointment of the team just now and the lack of qualification for major tournaments, it makes you appreciate that moment even more, but also makes you want it even more. And the fact that we had it in our grasp and threw it away in the manner in which we did is something that will live with you forever.
It's pressure,
unfortunately.
Leanne, can I just point out that Scotland won the European Youth Championship in 1982, so I don't, with respect,
sorry, I meant my life.
It's a pressure situation though, isn't it, Leanne? I mean,
much longer life than me, Kit.
That was a good comeback.
Yeah.
You're that old.
You start doing things in these situations you maybe wouldn't normally do, and it's the same in a final or a humongous game in a World Cup like Leanne's talking about. You don't do things if it was a friendly or a run-of-the-mill league game, and that's pressure for you. That's what happens, and it becomes difficult. And these things can happen, but the bigger the game, the harder it is to remain focused and play your normal game.
Yeah, just watch this. These scenes of the Celtic players are given so much the other night, and they just crashed to the turf when that goal went in deep into stoppage time. We'll get some more memories in a few minutes' time. Let's bounce around the grounds one more time. Let's get to Ibrox. Rangers at home to St Mirren. What's happening, Billy Dodds?
Yes, St Mirren again, comfortable 26 minutes, in fact into the 27th, and Declan John, ex-Rangers player, drives forward and just slips a little pass, and Mandarin just curves a run to about 12 yards, doesn't catch it properly. But what I'm saying to you is, you've seen teams coming here and are sitting in, and it's only a matter of time before Rangers look as if they get a goal. But St Mirren have been everything but. Two up front, I thought it'd be a 1-1. It isn't, it's two. They're passing the ball around well, they're creating chances, they look really comfortable in the game so far, and I think Stephen Robinson will be pretty pleased, Kenny.
Billy, now this has been a subject which has been spoken about consistently, week to week just about, but Dessers and the eye test versus the stats. Yes, his stats are pretty good. Hadji is a clever player, Igaman's a clever player, Czerny especially is a clever player. The amount of times they're looking for that wall pass, that little bounce into Dessers and just to get it back, and it breaks down. It's happened 3 or 4 times. It must be incredibly frustrating for the players around him who are trying to get in behind him to watch that happen time and time again. And then he'll go and pop up and score a goal, no doubt.
Yeah, he's got to get a bit more of that. There's a poor pass from Taylor. Here's Igaman, sorry. Oh, it's deflected just over. Poor from St Mirren, but I think they're on the money, Roddy, where he's got to learn the game where, look, he can score goals, and that's the main thing as a striker, but see if he can mix it up in terms of when a wall pass is required and when he's getting caught out these 3 or 4 times you're talking about. It's when the guy gets his head up and he's looking to bounce it off him, as you say, but he's just curved a little run. He doesn't want the ball to feet, and he's got to get that in his head right when to go and show when the man wants a pass and when the man wants to slip it up a little channel to put him through and goal, and sometimes he mixes that up. So it's another part of his game he's got to learn, Cyril Dessers. But I'm saying learn, he's an age now, he should have that in his locker.
Elgin City 1, Edinburgh City 0. Ross Draper with that goal on 27 minutes. The lunchtime kick-off in England finished Everton 2, Manchester United 2, Arsenal 0, West Ham United 0, Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 0, Ipswich 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1 and Southampton 0. Brighton 1 actually down there in England, and Spurs have just got a second goal there. Some relief at last for Ange Postecoglou. I think he's getting some of his injured players back down there at Tottenham Hotspur. So goalless at Ibrox. Let's then get to Tannadice. Dundee United are at home to Motherwell, and hear from Alan Preston.
29 minutes on the clock, Kenny. Not a shot at goal from either side. As I say, that is a chance now, surely. Oh no, still no shot on target. A shot for Dundee United. It's played to the back post. It comes down and it's volleyed over the top of the crossbar. First real opportunity, but again, it's not been great quality here at Tannadice today from either side. It's very blustery. The rain just pouring down. It's got a bit lighter recently, but it's not great stuff here so far under the new manager. Where it is Dundee United 0, Motherwell 0.
Can you offer us anything better at Pittodrie, Willie Miller?
Not really, Kenny. No, it's listen, there's a lot of effort, a lot of endeavour. Both sides look well organised defensively. A definite lack of creativity at either end of the pitch. So, you know, it's going from one end to the other. So, you know, your interest is always there, but unfortunately it keeps breaking down, just because of that lack of quality and perhaps some good defending from both teams. You know, I think they're looking pretty solid at the back. No real chances, and Daba had a little deflected shot that Mitov dealt with pretty effectively. So we're still hoping, living in hope after 30 minutes here, that the game's going to really, you know, find a bit of class.
Let's
0-0.
hope so. Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Forfar Athletic 1. Ruben McAllister with that goal on 29 minutes. There has been goals up in Dingwall. Ross County at home to the knee. What's happening now, John Robertson?
Yeah, it's a good game here, I've got to say, Kenny. We've unlucky for the other lads at other games at the moment. I hope it brightens up a bit, but Sunkist Dingwall's got a good game on here. They say 5 minutes gone. Simon Murray with a brilliant goal, bent it in the top left corner, but Ross County kept at it. They forced a flurry of corners, 6 or 7 in a row, and then, you know, tested McCracken 3 times, 3 good saves. Finally got their equaliser on the 19th minute through Phillips, and the game's it's even now. You know, Dundee are playing the more sort of cultured football. Ross County a bit more direct, but Ross County have been far more effective in the game. But as we know, in Dingwall, the drama tends to come late on. So I'm just sitting back, relax, it's sunshine and goal.
Fantastic. Let's hope we have plenty more goals up there. Let's get to Somerset Park. Ayr United at home to Livingston. What's happening, Chip Young? Alan.
First chance, and it's for Sam Dalby. It's a wonderful cross on the right hand side from, I think it's Strain that plays it in. There's Dalby rising, middle of the 6-yard box, header into the back of the net. First chance of the match. It finds itself into the back of the net for Dundee United. It's Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0.
Well, if ever an individual player was so critical to the way a team play, it's Sam Dalby for Dundee United. Honest to goodness, I mean, his link-up play in terms of taking the ball in, getting it wide and hitting the box between the sticks, rises, heads it straight. It's a great header, a great ball in, a great header, and it's just a product of exactly what Jim Goodwin's instilled in this Dundee United side this season, because that is a magnificent header right in the middle of the goals, glanced into the corner, beautiful goal.
Yeah, that was a lovely head. A real challenge now for Michael Vimmer. He's just in the door. He's going to have to do a lot of work in there to get the team playing they want to play.
If they lose that one, surely his jeans are getting binned. Biscuits.
Listen to me, Giorgio Armani sitting at Ibrox Day.
They better dress sense than you, that's for sure.
Right, you get dressed in that, my friend.
Aye, very good.
Right, let's get to a very well dressed man, Mr. Young, down at Somerset Park. What's happening?
Settle, Kenny.
Can I tell you more of that banter between these two? That was brilliant.
It sounds like you enjoyed it.
It's still, it's still raining. It's actually battered down here. It was sunny again. Now it's almost sleet. It was warm. It's freezing now.
I take it that means the game's rubbish if you're talking about the weather.
No, well, the game, actually, I'm just thinking about the boys are talking last. No direct shots and goal, no saves. There's a lot of drama in the middle of the park, but there's been nothing for either goalkeeper. And remember the Robbie Much situation brought in. He was away in Lawrence now. Scott Brown has no patience with his goalkeepers. He's Harry Stone on the bench. Here's a corner chance. Goal! It's Livingston who have taken the lead. It's a ball. What a full corner kick come in from the right hand side. And the ball was eventually headed in by Danny Wilson. Header. Nobody wasn't picked up. And just nodded, just floated into the net. And it's Livingston ahead. The silenced Ayr United crowd. It is Ayr United 0. Livingston 1, Danny Wilson.
Yeah, that feels like a big goal, Rory. You think they really need to win today, Livingston, given Falkirk winning. I felt comprehensively last night.
Yeah, I don't know if they have to win, but they can't afford to lose, is what I would say. With 9 games left, Falkirk and Ayr don't look like they're going to drop many points. They have a knack, though, of doing well, Livingston against Falkirk and Ayr. So, huge goal for David Martindale. As I said, I don't think winning was an absolute must today, but I think a defeat would have severely hurt their opportunities at winning the league.
Right, Dundee United have had to make a change. Unfortunately, when that goal went in, Ross Docherty was on the ground and everyone else was celebrating. He was distraught on the ground. He's got up, he's walked off, thankfully, but clearly a reoccurrence of another injury. He's walked right up the tunnel, absolutely fuming. And Stevenson's come on to replace him.
He's had a dreadful time.
Really tough time with it, Kenny. He really has. He had a couple of injuries certainly in his time at Partick Thistle, watching him over the last number of seasons, but he just has not had a run at it at all since he's gone to Dundee United. And he's a big player for them when he plays. When he's fit and available, Alan, he always comes back into the side. He's a really smooth operator, but that's a hammer blow for him personally as well as the team.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let's get to Firhill. Partick Thistle at home to Airdrie. An early advantage for the home side. What's happening now, Gully?
Yeah, it still remains Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie now. Airdrie will be frustrated given the amount of possession they had in the opening sort of 10-15 minutes, but they never really done much with it. And then obviously you've got Brian Graham there with the quality. He's just changed the sort of nature of the game here. Thistle had a few wee chances here and there, nothing clear cut, but yeah, it's still currently Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie now.
Dodgy, go on, give us your heartbreaking moment in football.
Easy one. England v Scotland at Wembley when we were 2-0 down from the first leg. And then
us now.
Yeah,
I can't even get angry thinking back to that one.
Glorious failure again. And we played well. We got the goal, and then we were battering them, to be honest with you, and just couldn't get equaliser. So
that Christian Daly's header,
yes,
penalty for Georgie for Kilmarnock. Of course he will check it, but it looked to me as though it was a penalty. I think it was Donnelly that was brought down. Just can't see the numbers. He's lying in the ground just now, just a way to get up. It was good play, good build-up play, and he's burst through, and the challenge comes in, and Donnelly goes down. For me, it looked as though there was contact. They are checking it, but the referee had no doubt, and had a really good view of it. I'm just watching it. It looks as though it's just a clip, at the heels. Oh, wait a minute. Is it Palaversa's been booked? There's a red card out. I'm not too sure if I don't know why the red card is out. I'm bemused at this moment in time. The referee's just wandering about. I think it's just a mistake for the red card. And he's put it back in his pocket. Well, you shouldn't take a red card out, should you? Unless
you've got them in different pockets, have you know?
I'm baffled, I'm bemused. I think the penalty standing, they're checking the penalty for the foul. Looked as though there was a clip on Donnelly as he went through. I think it might have been Tobers that put the challenge in. It's quite a long look that they're having at it.
I think we need the same in the studio as well. It's not an easy one to have a quick decision on.
No, it's not. And it's not clear actually how much contact there is, or whether he's almost not initiated contact himself, but it's the way he's kind of pulled the leg back, and they've only had one run through of it, Willie, so we're unable to really help you at this stage.
I think the Aberdeen player getting a touch on the ball, it's hard to see whether he actually touches it or not, so it is a tricky one.
It's a penalty, I think it is. I don't think he's got a touch on the ball.
He touched the back of the defender, no?
Yeah, I looked to me as if the Aberdeen player clipped the Kilmarnock player's heel.
It's Tobers. I'm sure it was Tobers that goes in behind. Listen, when a player gets in front of you in the box like that, you've got to stay away from him. He's got the upper hand now. He's a way to have a look at it.
I'm not convinced it's
No, I actually do think that Donnelly kicks the back of Tobers.
Think so?
Yeah, I think that you see. I could be wrong, but it looked at there's contact by Donnelly on Tobers, though.
Leanne, he's right in goal.
I know,
he's right in goal.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll hopefully get a couple. Hopefully we'll see Willie what the referee is seeing over here.
It might be one though where they deem Donnelly to be almost in control of the ball, and the defenders then put himself in a position. You know, there was the one in the Old Firm game.
I'm watching a replay. I don't think there is contact actually.
Yeah, you want to get this
goes down after he fires his shot away.
There's contact. I don't think it's a penalty.
I don't. It's not.
There's contact from Donnelly here, just as he pulls the foot and gets a shot.
Yeah, he gets a touch on the ball.
And kicks the back of the defender.
He gets his shot off.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's a real hard one though. What I'm seeing anyway here, it's not a penalty. No penalty.
Yellow card's getting rescinded as well, Willie.
No, because I think the yellow card was more for dissent. I could be wrong.
I just thought it was
Nick Walsh, after the Diamandi won at Tannadice, and the stick he got for it was never sticking with his decision there.
I was thinking that.
That's got to be playing on his mind.
Of course it has. Of course it has.
And Donnelly's praying that it was given because it's a big miss.
Right decision though, I think.
Better.
And the yellow card's been rescinded as well.
Oh, it has. That was what the yellow card was for, Willie, was it? I thought it was a bit coming together after it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's what the challenge was for. Must be, yeah.
What about the red, Willie?
Still trying to find a pocket for that.
You tell me, have you ever seen a referee pulling out a red card and not showing it to anyone?
No.
No, listen, the players look completely and utterly bemused there as that happened, but
the players were.
Yeah, we all were.
On the goal! It's Aberdeen they scored. It's at the other end. What is it? Keskinen or Ockles? I think it's Ockles that gets the strike. Coming in from the left-hand side, he sees the spot at the far corner. He looks up and he curls it in towards that far post, and it nestles in the back of the net. So Aberdeen take the lead. It's 1-0 here at Pittodrie.
Yeah, just waiting on a replay coming in from Pittodrie there.
What an effort!
Yes, Alan.
Maswanisi from about 30 yards. Cuts inside and lets fly. Keeper diving to his right, just wide of the target. Great effort.
Right, still waiting on a replay of that goal at Pittodrie. What an incredible couple of minutes of drama up there. Ockles has been given the goal on 40 minutes. Leanne, we're going to look at it here now.
Yeah, it looked a good finish.
Yeah, it's a good finish.
We'll get a better look at the replay, certainly. Kilmarnock all over the place defensively, can't get bodies close enough. But no, a really nice finish. Yep, right into the corner. The way the keeper was getting near it.
Poor defensively though, you know, it's just a big long ball. Was it right?
With a heavy touch, Willie, with the outside of the right boot coming back inside the pitch.
Sets it up for him. Anyway,
how quickly things can change though. I mean, a penalty shout, Nick Walsh awarded the penalty, called over. He went back on that decision, 30 seconds later?
Yeah, but I mean, it's the right decision. So Kilmarnock can feel aggrieved all they like, but it's not a penalty. So, you've got to manage the game after that, and they don't, concentrate. I think it's maybe Lewis Mayo or Joe Wright.
He's a way to have a look at something.
Has he got the red card out again?
No, he's not. He's giving it the box signal, but he's not going to the box.
What's he doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
So it's factual. He's offside.
I think it is.
So is he saying that's a decision made by
they've
VAR?
Looked at the attacking phase of play. There must be an offside in it.
Do you know what's bizarre though? Is the defender takes control of the ball and gives it away.
Who's offside?
Well, we need to have another look at this. This has been an incredible couple of minutes up there at Pittodrie, so we'll try and
I don't need this, Kenny, by the way, at my
age. You're handling it well,
Can you not send me a game where I can read the numbers in the back and everything's nice and calm and there's no red card?
I sympathise with you.
Showing.
Given your career in refereeing, I thought you had that all sorted.
Right, I fully sympathise with these numbers. I'm in the studio here and I'm struggling to see the numbers in the back of these Kelly shots, but we've not seen a replay of that one yet. But that Ockles goal chopped off there at Pittodrie. So after a lot of drama, it remains Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0. Yes, Al.
That's an effort on the far side as well there. Decent hit for Dundee United again. It's really Payton on the angle, right foot shot just wide of the target. Should have gone across goal, goes narrow side, knocks it wide. Still 1-0. Dundee United lead Motherwell.
Right, some goals going in. Edinburgh City have equalised with Elgin City. Uzi Z with that goal on 40 minutes, 1 apiece there down in England. Crystal Palace 1-0 up away at Fulham, and Joachim Andersen own goal there on 37 minutes. And Stranraer 1, Stirling Albion 0. Kirk McKnight on 43 minutes. Let's get back to Billy Dodds at Ibrox. So far, so good for the Paisley Saints, Billy.
Oh, it is. I mean, Rangers are not creating anything now. The start of the game, Kenny, I'm thinking, oh, well, they look as if they're up for it. They've seen the Celtic result coming through. First 10-15 minutes, really pushing St Mirren back. Since then, the next 25-30 minutes or so, St Mirren look as if they're really enjoying the game. So, yeah, it's an even game.
It's a bad challenge,
Still 0-0.
really poor.
Yes, Alan.
Oh, it's Gordon on Payton. Thankfully, Payton's got straight back up, but he lunges in.
Yeah, just waiting for a replay of that. Billy, what about the home fans there? What's the reaction from them? Is it quiet, or is there a bit of
No,
angst
they're
in the
being
crowd?
patient. They're being patient. I think if it continues into the second half and late, I think they'll let the players know about it. But so far, they're still trying to get behind the team, trying to get them forward. But honestly, they've not created hardly anything.
Alan Preston, give us your biggest moment in football, the biggest disappointment.
That long ago, Kenny. I talk about more about night suit and things like that than my career now.
Honestly, do you not remember?
right.
You're one of these guys who don't remember games.
No, you do,
seen
but
you in a night out.
you remember now. Didn't you start?
Do you ever see the
chicken's
wallet?
face.
Do you ever see the
straight
wallet?
red.
Oh, wait a minute, where?
I don't. Ibrox. I mean, Ingerman has. I think he gets plenty of the ball. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Rory and
We've not
Leanne.
seen it, Billy.
It's,
Yeah, we'll get an eye on
once
it
it
now.
comes through, I mean, O'Hara goes in, Ingerman goes in. I think it's a fair, robust challenge. O'Hara
Ingerman
flies up in the air. He's low, Ingerman. If he gets plenty of the ball, ascending up. Tell you what, Kevin Clancy was quick with the red. You can let me know.
Eagleman's the coolest man in the pitch there now, Billy. He's looking at as if he's adamant that there's nothing to see here. I think he's quite comfortable with the fact that he's got enough contact. We're getting a look at it now. He takes a heavy touch, looks to go through it. I don't think that's a red card. His foot's
neither
low.
do I. I mean,
there
I'm
was one
thinking-
very similar in the Championship last night, Doddsy. I think it resulted in a yellow card, to be fair. If you remember it, there was contact, the studs were slightly shown. It was very similar, similar. His legs on the grass.
I don't think he can tackle any more than that.
Do you think it's obvious enough to overturn it?
Well, what would be the reasoning for that? Because I don't think
agree with
there's
you. I
like
think-
point of contact. I don't think he's
low,
reckless.
which is
I don't think he's out of control.
That's going to play in his favour. The fact that his
Is he
leg's low, but his
endangering
leg
I don't think
is
he's
straight.
endangering an opponent though. He's
No,
making it
because
his
Does he get the ball?
Aye, there's a bit of contact as on the ball.
He's been said to have a look. First impression,
I don't think it's a
maybe
red,
a
Billy, if
yellow.
I'm
And when he
honest.
produced the red, and
Here
it
we
was
go.
so quickly. I mean, it was too quick out his
It's
pocket.
definitely a yellow.
I think there's a slight touch on the ball there as the
Ever
two
so
players
slight.
come through it.
It's not dissimilar to Liam Gordon's one actually that we just watched up at Tannadice, and he got a book, and Liam Gordon it was more from the side, so it didn't look quite as bad.
We'll get a slow-mo here. It's not a red for me. He gets it wrong.
It's quite low,
it's
it's
a yellow
low.
card.
That's what's gonna work.
It's a yellow card.
It's because of the
Half-time
height of the
Thistle
foot.
here.
Yes, Gully, half time there, 1-0.
Yeah, half time, 1-0 Thistle.
Thanks to Gully Singh.
When he touches the ball, Leanne.
Airdrie 0.
Yeah, I
Right
think
there.
he's going to rescind it and give him a yellow.
there's a
I think he's
slight-
downgrading it. I think rightly so. Yeah, no red. Yellow card produced by Kevin Clancy.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
So do I.
Kenny.
Thanks, Chick. Goal is 1-0 to Livingston down there. There's United 0, Livingston 1 down there. So just watching Kevin Clancy speaking with Iggaman there, Leanne.
I actually just thought he's going to applaud Kevin Clancy here and he's going to get sent off anyway. He was having a bit of a laugh with the referee. I think he was pretty sure that it wasn't as bad as the referee had viewed it. He's in a good position right enough, Kevin Clancy right away. You can see that he's not high with the contact. I'm not sure what his initial reasoning was.
They get it right again though, and that's the main thing.
Yeah,
It wasn't too long.
It looked bad though, didn't it? I mean, the St Mirren player went quite high up in the air. As long as it looks bad, O'Hara. But
The fact his foot's so low that it
Half
helps
time
him.
in Dingwall, 1-1.
thanks to John Roberts there. Big goal down in England in terms of the title race. Arsenal 0, West Ham United 1. Jared Bowen that goal on the stroke of half time. Stranraer have doubled their advantage at home to Stirling Albion. 2-0 now. Elliot Elliott Dunlop with that goal on 44 minutes, and that is you. In fact, Spartans have scored right in the stroke of half time away at Clyde. Clyde 0, Spartans 1. Hamish Ritchie on 45 minutes. So still playing
half time at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0.
Thanks to Alan Preston. So still playing at Pittodrie, and there's a long VAR actually a couple of VAR checks there in the space of a couple of minutes, and still playing at Ibrox. What have you made of the Aberdeen performance, Will, in the first half?
It's been okay. It's been no more than okay. The tempo's been good. The kind of attitude you can't really fault. The body language is one that will take them forward, but it hasn't been exceptional. There hasn't been many chances made. It's the same with Kilmarnock. I would reckon it's on the stats it would be very, very similar, because Kilmarnock, they're playing with the two up top as well, so they've got intent and they've got bodies up there, so when they get forward they have got men to hit in the box. It's just that they're not hitting them. That's the problem. So you need a little bit more creativity, although the Ockel strike was a very good strike, but it was offside. I was watching a replay. There's no doubt that it came from an offside position.
Yeah,
0-0.
We've not seen a replay, and just approaching half time at Ibrox, Billy Dodds, in possession as you'd expect, Rangers dominating that about 60%. But see, when you look at other stats, Billy, 7 shots for Rangers, 6 for St Mirren, 3 in target for Saints, just 1 in target for the home side. So St Mirren very much in this game.
Oh, they are, and I'm telling you, I've seen teams come here and just sit back, and that's half time, Ken, it's 0-0, but I've seen teams come here, sit back and just try to soak up some pressure and hit the brakes. Not been like that for St Mirren so far. They've made chances that actually look as if they're enjoying the game now, so that's where they're at. But anyway, half time 0-0.
Yeah, but it remains that score at full time. Interesting to tune in there and hear the reaction from the home fans. St Mirren fans over in the corner, they'll be delighted with their team's performance so far as they troop off the pitch there at Ibrox. A reminder, there's an option of online commentary. Kerry Nidsan and E. McCall on duty for us there, so it's just waiting on the game at Pittodrie up there. From a Kilmarnock perspective, Willie, Derek McInnes reasonably happy, do you think?
I think he'll be reasonably happy. Nearly 17,000 here this afternoon as well, Kenny, so a really good turnout. But Derek McInnes will be happy with his team. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They've had plenty of the ball. They've taken the game to Aberdeen as well, and it's been a forward-thinking formation with the two up top with Wales and Watkins, who have worked hard, but they haven't really caused Aberdeen enough issues. And Aberdeen just having Nisbet up there has really struggled to create anything, and Papagay's not kind of engaged with him. As the half-time whistle goes here at Pittodrie, it's 0-0.
Yeah, thanks to Willie Miller. You felt it was important for the Dons to kick on following that victory last weekend. It's still very much in the balance up there at Pittodrie. Stay with us. All the half-time reports to come on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
Chance! And it's a goal! Oh, what a goal!
All the action from all the biggest games.
Oh, it's the second goal!
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We kicked off at midday today, 12:30 start at Easter Road. What a fantastic match. Hibs 2, Celtic 1, a double from Josh Campbell, a late goal from Daiz Maeda on 68 minutes. They thought they'd equalised, but the ball had gone out of play in the build-up to that move. So 2-1 for Hibs. So much quality, so much drama in that game. You can watch all the action on Sports Scene this evening, BBC Scotland from 7:15. Let's then get to our 3 o'clock kickoffs. Let's start at Ibrox. Rangers are home to St Mirren, and get the half-time report from Billy Dodds.
Yeah, frustration at half-time for Rangers, Kenny. They started well with the first 10-15 minutes, put St Mirren on the back foot, but St Mirren definitely grew into the game and looked comfortable at half-time. First chance came after 4 minutes. It was a corner. It was offside anyway. Hadji was edge of the box. He headed it towards Diamandi, who was 6 yards, and Hemming made a great save, but it was flagged for offside. 6 minutes later, Butland took a chance for Rangers. Real shaky period for Jack Butland, although he played brilliantly at Hearts last week, but playing out from the back, it was poor. He passed it straight to Ayunga, who had the shot saved. He redeemed himself, and then Mandaron, it broke to Mandaron, who hit a half volley, but Butland managed to just tip it over the crossbar. Czerny, well, Rangers had a couple of chances, but not great. But Czerny then, the shot was blocked away by Hemming's legs. Dessers had another one when he was played down a little channel into the box. He was at the angle, he fired it in from about 6 yards. Hemming made another save, but it was also offside. Alabiusu for St Mirren, they weren't out it. He had a running cross just before half time, found Mandarin, couldn't direct his header on goal, and then a bit of controversy just right on the break. Igamani flew into a challenge with Mark O'Hara. O'Hara threw himself up in the air. I thought I got a bit of the ball. I thought it was a yellow at most, but Kevin Clancy produced a red card, which he was asked to go to the monitor, and he soon rescinded it after that robust tackle from Igaman. So Igaman stayed on the pitch and just got a yellow. Kevin Clancy was booed off at half time. Rangers are frustrated at half time, and St Mirren enjoying it at half time. Half time at Ibrox, it's Rangers 0, St Mirren 0.
There's an option of online commentary from that game at Ibrox with Keradine Idsan and Ian McCall. Ian McCall, your thoughts on that first half at Ibrox?
I think St Mirren have been terrific. I think Rangers have been, I don't like using his language is strong. I think they've been awful, like really, really awful, even for in the attacking areas. You know, Hadji just hasn't produced, Czerny hasn't produced, Igaman hasn't, and I like Igaman, hasn't produced. Dessers hasn't been able to hold the ball up. There's been so many misplaced passes. They've not been positive enough. I think St Mirren, every single player knows what they're doing. They haven't got the same quality of player, but they press the ball really well. And when they need to defend deep, they defend deep with 5 players across the back as a back 5. You know, St Mirren have looked every bit as threatening as Rangers. Rangers have been a really, really poor watch, and I'm wondering if Clement will take Igaman off. Dodsley obviously said I didn't think it was a sending off either. I thought booking at very most, and I think everybody agreed with that, even the St Mirren players, and maybe Danilo off because you can't afford Igaman to do one more poor challenge. But really, really poor at Ibrox, and the crowd is on the verge of, well, not on the verge of, it's already turned. It's just not good. It's not good.
Yeah, very much in the balance there at Ibrox. So a reminder, the option of online commentary with Keradine and Ian. Billy will bring us all the news on Open All Mics. Next stop, Tannadice, Dundee United at home to Motherwell. Let's get the half-time report from Alan Preston.
Motherwell manager Michael Wimmer can find his side 1-0 down in the opening 30 minutes where it was very much a stalemate, no chances created, but in the 30th minute a Campbell cross, Ferry with an effort just over the top of the crossbar. But that was a sighter. For a minute later Dundee United took the lead. A brilliant cross from Strain on the right. There was Sam Dalby, the top goal scorer, flicking the header into the back of the net. Wonderful finish from the big striker. Could Motherwell respond? They got a corner in 36 minutes. Gordon headed it back. Of course, there was Armstrong just about to put it in, but it was bundled off the line by Dundee United. Then Maswanisi had a shot from 30 yards just wide, and just before half time Payton had a strike just wide of the target. I think for Michael Wimmer, his team's got to do better. Can he get Lennon Miller on the ball higher up the park? He's playing very deep and creating, but not really creating from there. He's too far away from the strikers. I would like to see him further up the park with his creative ability that he's got. So there's a lot of work to be done in that half-time for Motherwell, but the half-time score is Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0.
Thanks to Alan. Next stop, Pittodrie, Aberdeen at home to Kilmarnock. Let's hear from Willie Miller.
Yeah, Kenny, 0-0 here with Pittodrie at half-time. It hasn't been a spectacular game of football. It's been competitive though, and it's it's always caught your attention, but very little goal-mouth action. The game has raged from one penalty box to the other, but whenever it gets up there, it's just lacking in creativity, lacking in anything that is going to cause the defences problems. Both defences well organised and have defended extremely well. A couple of major incidents on the 40-minute mark. The first one coming when referee Nick Walsh awarded a penalty to Kilmarnock. It was Liam Donnelly that went down in the box. It looked from where the referee was standing that Tobers had clipped his heel as he was right through in goal, and he awarded the penalty, but then he was invited to have a look at the incident, and he came back and decided there wasn't any contact at all, and it was reversed. Tobers was booked, and that was reversed as well, and then Aberdeen had the ball in the back of the net just a minute later when it was sent long ball forward. Papa Gay had set it up for Jep Ockles, who actually finished it extremely well, but it came back from an offside position to curl it in from the left-hand side towards the far post. So, you know, a well-taken goal, but unfortunately for Aberdeen, it was chalked off by VAR. And so at half-time here at Pittodrie, it's 0-0.
Thanks to Willie Miller. Let's get to Dingwall. Ross County at home to Dundee, and hear from John Robertson.
Yeah, and it's half-time. Ross County 1, Dundee 1. Normally, the drama comes late at Dingwall, but it was early. It was just 4.5 minutes in when the ball was rolled to Simon Murray. Who else? He looked up, composed, curled the ball into Jordan Amisa's top left-hand corner to give the visitors the lead. But that didn't deter County. They came flying right back down. Harman had a shot from outside the box. Well saved by McCracken before. Hale smashed one that the big keeper done well to tip past the post. Then a corner Randall shot after 12 minutes was tipped past the post as Ross County kept the pressure up. They forced half a dozen corners and free kicks around the box, and eventually after 19 minutes it paid off. The ball was played in by Harman to the back post. Casper Lapata got up, headed across the face of the goal, and there was Kieran Phillips to bundle the ball into the net for a deserved equaliser. Finlay Robertson for the visitors then warmed John Manisa's hand, a 25-yard free kick which the big keeper did well to keep up, and then Kilvers had a shot just over the bar after 35 minutes. So it's level at the interval. It's Ross County 1, Dundee 1.
Thank you to John Robertson. So in the top flight, the lunchtime kick-off finish, Hibs 2, Celtic 1. In the 3 o'clock games, Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0, Rangers 0, St Mirren 0, Ross County 1, Dundee 1. Let's get into the championship. Let's head for Somerset Park. Ayr United at home to Livingston, and hear from Chick Young.
Half-time, Ayr United 0, Livingston 1, and as we stand, Livy will have leapfrogged Ayr United into second place in the championship race, tucked in behind Falkirk. They will be just 4 points behind the Bairns if it stays like this at close of play. Well, clearly Ayr United need to do something in the second half. The only goal of the game came after 34 minutes, a corner on the right-hand side, and Danny Wilson just seemed to me to have the simplest of headers, just come on to and floated the ball into the net beyond Robbie Much, who's been brought into the Ayr United team. He was out on loan at Sunrar. It's Harry Stone, who's been outstanding apart from one mistake last week for Ayr United, been dropped by Scott Brown. Much in the goal. I'm not saying he was to blame for it, but it was a simple goal for Ayr United to lose, and that has been the difference. At the moment, we have had almost every conceivable it's image of weather in the first 45 minutes here. At the moment it's glorious sunshine, but the rain has been battering down, sleet-like at times, and that has made this pitch very slippy, very heavy in areas, and the players have toiled at times with it, and I think this could be a mistake in this game which could be crucial. An unforced error because of the conditions in the surface. We'll see what happens in the second half, but Ayr United with it all to do. David Martindale will be happy with the two coaches at the moment. It is Livingston who lead Ayr United at half-time by 1-0.
Thanks to Chick Young. Let's now hear from Gully Singh. He is at Firhill for Partick Thistle against Airdrie.
Yeah, Kenny, it's currently Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 0. All the early possession was for Rhys McCabe's side. Thistle really struggling to get a hold of the ball. Adam Frizzell orchestrating a few moves without anything definitive. But just after the 15-minute mark, Thistle finally found their stride. Airdrie lost the ball. Stuart Brannigan led the break out to the left. He passed it to Megwa. He picked his pass and found Brian Graham. He slotted it into the bottom left-hand corner for the opener. On 30 minutes, Lewis McGrattan for the away side setting an effort wide of the right-hand post after Brannigan failed to clear just outside the Thistle box. It was a near second for New Look Thistle. Ben Stanley looked like he was searching for Graham at the back post. His curled effort sent beyond Kieran Wright. He hit the post, it bounced back out. Logan Chalmers found some space on the follow-up. His effort was kept out by Wright. On 39 minutes, Stuart Brannigan rightfully given a yellow card. Thistle lost the ball. He brought down the attacker. But Kinneil Megwa, only a few minutes before that, found himself in a pretty similar situation. Managed to escape referee David Dickinson's book there for a yellow card, but certainly not enough quality from the Diamonds. They're still in this, so it's only the one goal, but a second for Brian Graham's side should be enough for all 3 points. We've just kicked off. Currently Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 0.
So in the championship, Ayr United 0, Livingston 1, Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 0, Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 0, Wraith Rovers 1, Hamilton Accies 0. In League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Alloa 0, Cove Rangers 1, Dumbarton 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Inverness, Cali, Thistle 0, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 1. 5:30 starts. Dennismuir are at home to Arbroath. In League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Forfar Athletic 1, Clyde 0, Spartans 1, East Fife 0, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, Edinburgh City 1, Stranraer 2, Stirling Albion 0. And in England, the lunchtime kick-off finish: Everton 2, Manchester United 2. In the 3 o'clock starts, Arsenal 0, West Ham United 1, Bournemouth 0, Wolves 1, Bournemouth down to 10 men, Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 1, Ipswich Town 1, Spurs 2, Southampton 0, Brighton 1. 5:30 start. Aston Villa are at home to Chelsea. Plenty more to bring you on Sport Sound this afternoon. Open All Mics is just about to get underway again, and for full second half commentary of Rangers against St Mirren, that's available online, bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
Chance, and it's a goal! Oh, what a goal!
All the action from all the biggest games.
Oh, it's the second goal!
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. As I said, we kicked off with a classic game at Easter Road. I said I saw pictures coming in of Brendan Rodgers very unhappy with the match officials on the full-time whistle. I know he's had something to say on that. We'll hear from the Celtic manager later in the programme. We'll also hear from David Gray. What a performance from his team today. What a run they have been on. Very dark days early in the season, but my goodness, how he has turned things around. And we have an early chance.
It should be 2-1 Ross County. Shelvers a sort of shot. It's been parried out. Not a great save from McCracken. Straight to Ronan Hale, 6 yards out. He's hit the post.
Oh, Alan.
A really good play by Dundee United at the start of the second half. It's Stevenson, rolls it into Campbell, just can't get the ball out his feet. Shot at the edge of the box. Really comfortable for the keeper to save, but good start from Dundee United to lead 1-0.
Ronan Hale's got to score, Kenny.
Got to score there.
Oh my goodness me. And you'd fancy him to score. He's normally...
Chance, goal!
Yes!
What a goal! This could be, I thought Murray's is good. The corner's been whipped in. Akil Wright with a scissor kick has hammered it in. 46 minutes gone. Ross County have turned it around. They lead by 2-1.
Wow.
I just wonder if it's worrying times for Dundee fans right now. They're struggling with the defending.
I want to talk about the goal, Kenny.
Oh, you
what
go.
What a finish that was.
I didn't see it.
Acrobatic. Every member of his teams went over to him other than the goalie, and no wonder. Yeah, you don't often see that from set plays, but my goodness me, I don't think that's one that's off the training ground. I think that's just sheer quality.
So talk us through. Here we go now.
It comes in, he just moves off his marker and...
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Lovely goal.
Almost like John says, a scissor kick into the bottom corner. And that's a
just really helped, doesn't he? Because there's not much else he can actually do to get the shot off. Really instinctive finish, but as you say, Kenny, worrying times for Dundee. You just feel that if this type of run continues, it's only going to get worse as the season goes on.
Change as well at half time there, Leanne. They had to take off. Clark Robertson looked like he just tweaked his hamstring right in a half time whistle. They brought on Big Mo Silla and dropped Jordan McGee back, but really Hale should have scored before for the corner. I mean, his miss is incredible, but he's been pulled out the frying pan, out of the fire, so to speak. But it's a brilliant finish for Akil Wright, and it's deserved. There's no doubt County have been, even though they lost the early goal, they've come back, they've really stuck in. As I say, it's massive for them. They've not won here since November the 23rd. A win here would really kick them on, and with their new away form, they could be moving up the table with St Johnstone away and Kilmarnock at home in the coming week. This could be a big week for County.
Yeah, reminder, we've got Celtic at home to Aberdeen on Tuesday evening, and then an Open All Mic special on Wednesday. 5 games in the top flight, some big games there on Wednesday night, but plenty still to be resolved this afternoon, particularly in the top flight. Let's get back to the game at Tannadice. Alan, just wanted to talk to us a wee bit about what you've seen.
Chance! Goal! 3-1 County, and Dundee are falling apart. Just a simple ball to Phillips up the right-hand side. He delayed, rolled the ball into the middle, and there's the finish from Chilvers. It's Ross County 3, Dundee 1, and we are only 3 minutes into the second half.
I mean, it's brilliant from Ross County, it really is, the way that they've attacked and get numbers there. Chilvers, I was really impressed with last week at Fir Park as well. He does really good in terms of his finish, but there's nothing worse than being a manager at half-time and Tony Docherty, and probably speaking to your group of players, looking for a response, addressing a couple of issues that you think you can go and fix, and within 3 minutes of the second half you're 2 goals down and out of the game.
You've had some fantastic games up there, Robbo, haven't you? John, are you there, John?
Hello?
I'm just saying you've had some amazing games up there in recent times.
Oh, listen, there's been plenty of entertainment up here. It's never lacking. There's always goals. We've said that already. There's been lots of good high-scoring games here. There's been some incredible late drama, but I don't think we'll be looking at that today because County have just, after losing the early goal, they've just blown Dundee away. Dundee have just not, I say that I'm looking at my notes here, apart from Finlay Robertson's free kick from about 25 yards, which was well taken by Misa. Dundee have played some tidy football, but they look really low in confidence, and at the back, every time they go forward,
it's really poor defensively, that goal there, really from Dundee's perspective, John.
You've seen it earlier on. They say that Hale should easily have scored when he's hit the post. The corners come in. Akil Wright just bullied his marker and used that to give him the pivot to do the second. But that was too easy. It was just a straight ball up the park. Phillips has made a nice, simple forward run, looked into the channel, and he's done great. He's waited for Chilvers to catch up. The crowd were baying at him to play earlier. He just waited, and he just rolled it at the right time. And Chilvers has slammed it home. So Dundee now have to respond because they're in big trouble, and this would open up a gap at the bottom.
Yeah, the fact he can actually wait on Chilvers catching up speaks volumes, because if you are having to wait, you'd expect a Dundee player to be able to get back, but they're all over the shop.
What that result in Dingwall Robbo has done is give the Dundee United fans a great lift.
Yeah, but
they're absolutely flying with that.
They will be, but I've said that Dundee, you're thinking they've just lost a goal, break your neck to get back, but they were never getting there. Boy Ashley was never getting back to pick up Chilvers, who's ran from midfield, and Phillips, as I said, just waited and just relaxed and just slowed it down. Oh, he done great because the crowds, as I say, were absolutely shouting at him to pass it. He just waited and just put a beautiful ball in the middle. He's flicked in it, and it's no more than Ross County deserves. I say I've got my notes here, and there's chance after chance after chance, and that's not including about, I think, 8 or 9 corners to Dundee's 2. And every time Ross County get a corner, they're whipping it in from both sides, from Harmon and Chilvers, and causing all sorts of problems.
Alan, looking at your game, 1-0 to Dundee United there at Tannadice, what have you seen from the away side so far under the new manager?
They like to get the full-backs forward, Wilson and O'Donnell, but the use of the ball when they get there has been poor. Wilson especially has been in really good areas and overhit crosses or hit one out the park. I would like to see Lennon Miller get further forward. For me, he's sitting and protecting in front of the 2 centre-halves. He's better than that. He's more creative. The further they can get him up the park, the better Miller will be for me. And at the moment, he's not really in the game. Dundee United, it's not been a classic, but they deserve to be ahead. They've been the better side. Miller will so far haven't shown.
It's 1-1.
Yes, take away, Gully.
Yes, it's Airdrie that have found an equaliser. I'm just trying to figure out who the goal scorer is, but they've hit Partick Thistle on the break. Thistle lost the ball on the halfway line. Airdrie just burst forward, a couple of simple passes, and before you know it, the ball was in the back of the net. But it's Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1.
Right, thanks to Gully Singh there, of course. Thistle sacking Chris Doolan during the week. Let's get to the game at Ibrox. Billy Dodds is there for us. I know Rangers are just on the attack there, Billy, but every time I looked up prior to that, St Mirren looked fairly comfortable.
Yeah, and it all came from another dodgy Jack Butland clearance, that passage of play that you watched. Rangers started well again the second half, and then I think it was Jeffy put a ball in and Dessers just couldn't go on the end of it. And then St Mirren got the pitch, Butland with a poor kick, and then they have 5 or 6 really good passes. They put a cross in, and Butland had to really move his feet to try and deal with it at the back post. Decided to let it go. It went for the by kick, but comfortable, that's the word I would use for St Mirren. They've really grown in confidence, and this is not like a Rangers performance where they're pushing them back and St Mirren are finding it hard to go out. St Mirren are finding so much room on the pitch, passing the ball about really well, and they're growing as the game goes on, as Rangers suddenly on the break. Gogic has done well. He's been excellent today. Any time that Rangers have been up the pitch and it's not enough, Gogic has snuffed them out.
Right, that goal for Airdrie, equalised for Airdrie at Partick Thistle, scored by Ben Wilson on 54 minutes. You had some late drama in the first half. Willie Miller at Pittodrie. What's happening now?
There's not much drama in the second half, Kenny, unfortunately. I wish it was. I wish I could report that it was goal-mouth action all the way, but that simply hasn't been the case. A couple of defences that are right on top of their game, and you know, that lack of creativity in and around the box. Plenty of energy, you know, Kenny. There's no issue with the intent. It's just the quality. The quality isn't good enough, and that's why it's still 0-0. But you can be sure, Kenny, if anything happens, I'll bring it to you.
Yeah, well, with that start of the season for the Dons, will this be your biggest disappointment in your career? If they didn't finish third?
My biggest disappointment was 4-0 Liverpool away. We come in at half time. Drew Jarvie, the ever optimist, we had lost 1-0 at Pittodrie. We were 3-0 down, and Jarvie made the statement of the century: 3 quick goals and we're back in this, boys.
I love that. What about you, John Robertson? You're
I know
gutting.
this one.
All right, okay. Right, Robbo.
Aye, well, 86, unfortunately. We were bottom of the league after 8 games.
Chance at Mirren! Goal! I think he's going to give a free kick though. He was letting it go for a while. Mandaron fired it in the bottom corner, but he's brought it back for a foul in Clinton. Sorry, Robbo.
No,
just leave it, Robbo. That's it. You've covered that. Just leave it.
Big chance for Simon Murray there to pull one back. Just a lazy ball in the box. County defender slipped, and it was not past the post. But carry on, Dozy. Your biggest disappointment. Sorry.
No, it's over to you. I'm still getting over my disappointment. I can't go over it.
86. We were bottom of the league after 8 games. 27 matches unbeaten. Took us to top of the league in Dens Park, and we needed a point. And unfortunately, 2 late Albert Kidd goals in the 82nd, 88th minute took the title away from us, and it's been 39 years and about 40 grand in therapy, so thanks very much.
Yeah,
for bringing that up.
Apologies to Heart fans tuned in. Did we look at that one at Ibrox?
Just a clip of the heel from Mandron. Don't think there's too many complaints. I think it's Inciala. He just catches the back of his heel. He goes down right away.
I think it would chopped off.
Kevin Clancy, he allows play to go on, rightly so, in terms of the position of the pitch and playing it through.
Sometimes intent's relevant, Leanne, but it's not there. He doesn't mean it, but he gains far too much of an advantage from the situation.
Still checking.
Yeah.
Nah, it's got to be
sure?
there. He does, yeah.
Just here.
You don't see that?
Do you think
See your glasses that are on your head, you need to put them over your eyes.
I've not called many right today, to be fair. I never do. Right, let's have a wee look. He's still, right, it's taking a while.
I'll be surprised if it's given.
Unless it shows that he's clipped his own heels, but the angle that I got...
No, don't you two start backtracking.
Kenny's got the closest view to the...
They've not dealt well with the Celtic result, the Rangers. They look nervous that they have to capitalise on coming back from Celtic losing. They could narrow the gap ever so slightly. They don't seem to have dealt with it very well.
This is taking a long time.
It's a big chance for Keskin in there.
Yes,
for Aberdeen down the right hand side. Lovely through pass. He finds himself inside the box. It is a tight angle, and O'Hara does really well to close the angle. He strikes it towards the near post, and it's put out for a corner. But a good chance, probably Aberdeen's best chance of the game.
I'll be astonished here.
Wait a minute.
It's not often you're right.
On a serious note, though, I think VAR's been better this season. But see here, Kevin Clancy, the guys in
offside as well. Is that what they're checking?
Checking the offside as well.
Well, it's not offside.
Just saying checking disallowed goal for a foul.
The flick on.
Right.
Here.
So here we are here. So he hits it.
He doesn't mean it, but the striker gains far too much of an advantage. It is a foul.
I'm not sure who goes for the flick on,
He's
but
coming to the monitor. He's been called over.
Right,
Kenny, you could be right.
Dodgy, yeah.
I'm going to fall off my chair if you are.
So will I, to be honest, because I very rarely call these right. But it's the screen closest to me. It's the one on the full screen closest to me in the studio. So Kevin Clancy coming over. This could be a huge moment. Here we go.
That's a foul.
Is it?
It's a foul.
It's underneath his foot. He hits him.
No, his knee catches his foot. His knee catches his foot there.
I've got Leanne on board.
He can't.
I'll tell you what, he's under pressure here because
there, by the way, and
he's right in front of these Rangers fans. He's having a look. Goal! Goal! St Mirren Mandaron!
There you go.
There you go, Rory.
There mustn't have been contact. That's all I can say. But why would he clip his own heels? But
he's not. No, he's.
Oh, he's celebrating that. Good on him. Mandaron going over the corner
flag. Yeah, they're off to the corner flag. Ibrox is silenced, but
I wonder if it's taken as long though as well, because I thought, is it Ayunga that goes up for the flick on? I actually thought he could have been in an offside position, but it would have been
They weren't checking
marginal.
that, Leanne. They were checking for the foul only. That's what it said in the
I
screen.
know, but they would need to check the attack
both,
phase
yeah.
of play before they then send the referee to the monitor to then decide about the contact, Billy. So it would have taken a length to make sure everything else was legit.
Alice saying that he's gone over to Kevin Clancy now and saying, look, there was contact, but if there was no contact,
You
in
can't-
fair play,
Ciala, there was contact last week with Wilson at Tynecastle as well in Ciala.
Yeah, aye, that's right.
I know that there was, but if there's contact there, that's a foul. But if there's no contact, clearly it's not. And they've obviously came to the decision that there's no contact.
I don't know how he's managed to click his own.
What were you saying about VAR, Rory?
No, the point I was going to make is if they do think it's that tight or that close, it's not a factual decision. It's so just send them over straight away. If they can't, if it takes them 2-3 minutes to make their mind up, just send them across to make a decision.
I'm saying I think it's took as long because there was a potential offside in the build-up. Right. So I think they've had to check. I could be wrong. It looked to me like there was a check because the screen that we got and the clip froze at one point that usually tells you there's a check and an offside for the header and the flick on. Had that been offside, it wouldn't have mattered whether there was obviously contact or not. So I've got a feeling that's why it took as long. Hopefully, Kenny, as we normally do, we might get a bit of guidance before it shows out that we can
keep a look out for that. You're right,
interim managers looking ever so close now, though. If this stays the same,
who would you give it to?
It's not who I would give it to, because who I give it to or who I would give it to is not necessarily relevant. I'm sure there's names out there, and I'm not going to throw a name out off the top of my head. But what I would say is, in terms of Clement and the results that he's producing and the performances, yes, Europe aside, I mean domestically, are you better getting somebody in who understands it's till the end of the season, whether that be internal and they go back to their job,
back in there now, isn't it?
and go back to the job, or it's somebody from the outside who comes in. It's a great chance to put themselves in the shop window for 6 months where they understand. I'm sure there are loads of managers out there who would be prepared to do that.
What about Neil Warnock? He is a Rangers supporter after all.
Well, but the idea, you wouldn't need to pay him off. He would come in, and whether it's internal or whether it's external, with the understanding it's to the end of the season, it's a huge opportunity for somebody to put themselves out there, and I'm sure they would do a better job than Clement's currently doing.
Yeah, and a huge opportunity now for St Mirren to take 3 points. Remember, they'll be following up that fantastic victory in Paisley on Boxing Day. Mikael Mandron with that goal in 51 minutes. Rangers 0, St Mirren 1. Elsewhere, Clyde 0, Spartans 2. Sonka with that goal on 56 minutes. And down in England, Southampton 0, Brighton 2. Rutter with the second goal there on 56 minutes. Billy, what about...
Just for a bit of clarity, St Mirren goal, no contact made by the attacker. The delay was checking a potential offside in the build-up.
Fair enough, if there's no contact.
Give yourself a pat in the back, Leanne.
No, that I wanted. I'm glad you said that. I was expecting Kenny to
you
come
didn't have to read it either, but you did.
Self-praise is no praise.
I was just trying to find the words.
Eager man off as well.
Right, talk to us, Billy, about the atmosphere inside that stadium right now.
It's definitely dampened, and Rangers try to react by bringing on Danilo. I think within 10-15 minutes they'll give it, and I think you'll see a reaction from the Rangers fans if things aren't going their way. Danilo on a run here because it's been so poor, especially after that result coming through. You're thinking they'll go out and try and get it to 10 points, and with what's going on this week off the pitch, there's Raskan, good save, Hemming. With what's going on off the pitch, you're thinking this could be a real boost to Rangers, but they have been so poor today, Kenny. So I think there'll be a reaction. They'll give them 10-15 minutes or so, nothing doing. I think you'll hear the fans.
Billy, I tell you what I'm seeing an awful lot of empty seats there at Ibrox.
Do you know, it looked more full at the start of the game. It was weird. I don't know what's happened.
Billy, I was just going to ask, and I hear a lot of people saying it. I've probably commented on it as well about the style of Rangers. When you watch it as a coach, as a manager, do you look at them and see what they're trying to do? Do you see a style with Philippe Clement?
The style gets... I understand why you ask, because the style gets mixed every week, because sometimes they'll change a striker and Dessers will be left out, so there's no focal point, and then sometimes he plays, he's frustrating. Igaman sometimes plays up front, and honestly he's played all over the pitch today, and that's frustrating as well. Then sometimes you know what's coming from their wingers. I think they've got a shape there that should be producing better football. I think today they've got to ask a lot more of their full-backs, and sometimes they don't get forward enough when they should be. It's a thing that's going out of Tavernier's game. He's not had as many assists or goals scored, and it's not his fault. He's played quite well within this game. It's just something missing to be playing the way they should, individually and collectively. I don't think it's about the shape, but it's the changes within that shape sometimes, and changes in team and team selection that sometimes just maybe, I don't know, just takes away week to week from Philippe Clement. That's how the fans, they're not having him. It doesn't matter what he does. There's another chance, hemming out to block it. There's plenty going on. The fans are starting, Kenny asked the question, they're starting to get a little bit frustrated as we speak.
Dodgy, what they won't want to know is that obviously Celtic lost today, but if Rangers lose, Celtic can win all their games between now and the split. The league's done, finished.
Done,
yeah.
Mathematically done.
Absolutely Jeffy down there at the moment. Let's continue around the grounds. A story clearly developing again at Ibrox. Let's get to your game, Alan Preston, at Tannadice. What's happening there?
Motherwell slightly better in the second half with possession, but still nothing, no real chances. Dundee United have had a couple of chances in that second half. Lovely 1-2 between Campbell and Stevenson. Campbell's effort not strong enough, but it's not been good enough for Motherwell so far. They need to get more pressure further up the park. It's been simple for that Dundee United back four so far, and we're now 20 minutes into the second half where it is Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0 still.
See, the thing is with Dundee United as well, when we talk about identity quite a lot in these days and things, and people say, well, what do you actually mean by that? You look at Dundee United, if you go and watch Dundee United, you know that in the midfield they're good on the ball, they're going to get the ball wide, they're going to get into Sam Dalby, he's going to play it wide again and get it in the box. That's an identity. You know exactly what you're going to get. May not always work, but you can see what they're working on Monday to Friday. I really enjoy watching Dundee United, I have to say.
Yeah, that's what you say there with the shot. Good save by the keeper away for a corner. Better Mas when he's been the bright spot. He's had a shot in the first half, then he's had another one in the second half. Really good save by the keeper.
Willie Miller, not much happening up there, I take it.
No, Kenny. It's a similar pattern, although I would suggest in the second half Kilmarnock have had the edge in terms of possession, but it's been pretty much route one. They get it forward, they get support from midfield. They've got two targets up there, and the midfield work extremely hard to get up and support them, but there's very little chances being created in the game. It's lacking that quality. Plenty of effort, as I've said, throughout, but definitely lacking quality, and that's why it's still goalless here.
And another fantastic game for you in the Highlands this afternoon, John Robertson.
Yeah, nearly a fourth goal for Ross County there. A free kick 19 yards out. Harman tested McCracken down to his right hand side, but yeah, County are absolutely, I was saying they're cruising. Dundee have had two decent chances. First, Simon Murray got in one, just couldn't get enough contact on it, and then a great ball at the back post, and Jordan McGee came in and lost the ball in the sun. Yes, lost the ball in the sun as he headed it over the bar. But County are in complete control. They're still making McCracken work, and we are now 66 minutes in, and they're leading by 3-1.
Big chance at Ibrox.
Yeah, it was Tierney. He's right foot. It was Hadji cutting in there, laid it to him, and he drives the right foot through it, but knocked it well wide there,
Oh, smashed it wide, literally. Like, the build-up play was actually really good in terms of the set. Hadji inside, wee setback, wait a pass, very good. Just make sure you hit the target, and he just lashes it with his right boot.
Yeah, how they could do with a striker like Chris Boyd, Dodge. I'm just saying that because he's tuned in at the moment, reminding me of a Sixes game that took place this week.
Yeah. Pulled my hamstring.
I heard that.
Told you, Dodgy, burn the boots. That's what you've got to do, my friend.
Don't let Boyd to bump his gums,
I love hearing from the big man, I have to say. Wraith Rovers 2, Hamilton Accies 0, Finlay Pollock in 64 minutes. They've got a chance of reeling in Partick Thistle and getting that final playoff spot in the championship. So a big goal there for Wraith Rovers down in England. Just the latest scores there for you. Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 2. Another goal for the away side there, Munoz on 66 minutes. The lunchtime kick-off, Everton 2, Manchester United 2. Arsenal 0, West Ham United 1. Bournemouth have been terrific this season, but they are losing at home to Wolves by 1-0. Bournemouth down to 10 men. As I said, Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 2. Ipswich Town 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Southampton 0, Brighton 2. 5:30 start, Aston Villa at home to Chelsea.
Oh, what a save this is!
Yes, Alan.
It's from a header. I think it's for Dalby again, the header. Or is it Gallagher, actually? Declan Gallagher. It's a free kick well out. Played into the box. Gallagher's header. What a save that is from Balcom. It's gone right in the top corner.
Right, let's get into the championship. Let's get to Somerset Park. Big game there. Ayr United against Livingston. Let's hear from Chick Young.
Yeah, it's Ayr United 0, Livingston 1, and for me, Livy got a grip in this game now. Scott Brown has run a few changes. Curtis Main's on up front to try and get the goal that Ayr United desperately need, because as we stand, Livy have leapfrogged them into second position in the championship table in the wake of Falkirk at the top. And I must say that in this second half, United and huffing and puffing haven't really created any clear-cut opportunities, and it's Livy for me who've got a real grip on the game. There hasn't been any goalmouth opportunities or saves to be made by either goalkeeper, but just the way this game is unfolding, I think that Livingston are in a comfortable situation. Still 1-0 to the visitors.
Yeah, I mentioned Wraith Rovers closing in on Partick Thistle in that final playoff spot at the top of the championship. Thistle are at home to Airdrie this afternoon. There for us is Gully Singh. What's happening, Gully?
Yes, Kenny, still Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1 after that Ben Wilson equaliser. It's pretty much a carbon copy almost of Partick Thistle's goal there. Thistle lose the ball up the Airdrie end, in fact, but Airdrie go on a break. Adam Frizzell leads it and he picks his pass to send Ben Wilson in, who keeps his cool. But since then there was a big penalty claim on the hour mark. It looked like the Airdrie defender, he tried to head the ball back to the keeper. I think it was Ben Stanley that crept in, and Kieran Wright looked like he clattered him, but the referee made the call for no penalty. But I think there is still one goal in this, but still currently Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1.
Yeah, plenty happening across the country this afternoon. Lunchtime kick-off. Hibs 2, Celtic 1. 3 o'clock starts. Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0. Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0. Rangers 0, St Mirren 1. Ross County 3, Dundee United 1. The Highlanders coming from behind in that game. In the Championship, Ayr United 0, Livingston 1, Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 0, Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1, Wraith Rovers 2, Hamadakis 0. Billy Dodds.
Oh my word, sorry Kenny, but it was a great opportunity for Dessers. Wait till you see this, it's a lovely little slip ball at the angle again. He times his run well, he's got to hit target, and he smashed it right across the face of goal and just misses the faraway post.
Yeah, he backs in really, really well to Richard Taylor. He spins him really well. It's just a finish that's lacking. He drags it wide. The ball in from Diamande.
I think offside was given as well.
Offside, but to be fair, we were critical earlier of his decision making in those situations. He makes the right decision, not knowing he's offside, but doesn't manage to find the finish.
Yeah, just to give you the other scores across the country this afternoon. So I gave you the latest scores in the Championship. In League 1, and Athletic 1, Alloa Athletic 1, Cove Rangers 1, Dumbarton 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 1. 5:30 starts. Stennismuir are at home to Arbroath. And in League 2 this afternoon, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Forfar 1, Clyde 0, Spartans 2, East Fife 0, Peterhead 0. Elgin City 1, Edinburgh City 1, Stranraer 2, Stirling Albion 0. We have so much more to bring you on Sports Sound this afternoon. Another really, really busy day. Plenty of goals, plenty of drama. Welcome to viewers who have joined us on BBC One. It's another really busy day in Scottish football. Leanne Crichton and Rory Loy are alongside me in the studio. Let's take you on a journey around the grounds. And once again, Billy Dodds, a big story developing at Ibrox.
A huge story, and Rangers just haven't performed today. But that's down to St Mirren, who from the first 15 minutes have really grown into the game, looked really comfortable. Been a few controversial decisions. A sending off for Igaman, and then it was rescinded and he stayed on the pitch just before half time. 0-0 at half time, and then into the second half it was a foul in Ciala. It said from Mandaron. The referee gave the foul and then was asked to check the monitor by VAR. He overturned it and gave St Mirren the goal, and they've looked comfortable ever since. And the Rangers fans not happy, getting on the players' backs, and it's going to take big characters to turn this one round. It's Rangers.
Oh my goodness me! That is just phenomenal. Ayr United are level. It's a fantastic run, and it's to go. It's just Ruth passed about 4 players. It's Marco Roos with a run. He just jinked inside, went past 3 or 4 players, and really rocketed that into the back of the net. Ayr United level. Marco Roos, the substitute, the scorer. It's Ayr 1, Livy 1.
Yeah, fantastic there for Ayr United. You feel for Falkirk, who won last night away at Morton. The perfect result would be a draw in that game, and that's as things stand. Marco Roos with that goal. Ayr United 1, Livingston 1. Let's get back to the top flight. Let's get to Tannadice, the first game in charge for new Motherwell boss, Michael Vimmer.
2-0!
Yes, Billy Dodds back to Ibrox.
He came on just a few minutes ago, and I'm thinking Robin Proper could be in trouble here. He doesn't like playing against him, but it's Ciala who can't handle him. Just played through. and he watches it, he lets it bounce and then volleys home. Butland just stares to his left as it hits the net. Rangers fans not happy, leaving the stadium in droves. It is Rangers 0, St Mirren 2.
No wonder, Billy. It's absolutely dreadful defending Nsiala. I've got no idea what he's trying to do. He's so hesitant, not for the first time this afternoon. But credit to Olasanya, he gets his body in, he gets the break with the ball. The finish is absolutely lovely, it's a delight. Superb from St Mirren, you would need to say, and you've spoken about them all afternoon, how they've grown into the game. When you're Stephen Robinson and you're St Mirren, you've got a game plan to go to Ibrox, you've got a game plan every week, but you understand there might be large spells of the game that you don't have the ball, that you need to work hard out of possession. They've played it really, really well. I just wondered there initially for that first ball if it might have been offside, but it won't matter. This second one he's definitely on. But Nsiala, Rory, shocking.
It's poor, and he's a young man who's learning his trade. Olasanya just leans into him and pushes him out the way, but just from Smyrn's point of view, what a man to bring off the bench. You've asked your players to go out and conduct a game plan. They find themselves 1-0 up, and you've got one of the most prolific strikers in the league this season coming off the bench, and he does what he does well. So
it was planned, Rory, because I spoke to let's just say a St Mirren representative before the game, and I said, surprised Olasanya isn't playing for you today, and he just said he's coming on with 20-30 minutes to go, and they would be probably thinking hopefully we'll still be in it and drawn or something like that, but
Billy,
to be 1-0 up, he comes on, so it was all planned.
Billy, we've watched the game, right, looking at Rangers' performance. It's not been good. We heard Ian McCall's comments at half-time, who's on commentary duties today. He says he didn't like to use the word, but he felt Rangers' performance up until half-time was dreadful. Philip Clement has made one substitution to change that, and we're 71 minutes in the clock.
Do you know what? You know what, Leanne?
Numbered. Simply because he is clueless.
Well, we've got the pictures coming in here, Billy, and you won't see this, but the camera just panned to Philippe Clement on the touchline when that second goal went in. He looked low.
See, the thing is, Kenny, the amount of people you speak to, I spoke to Scott Allen last week at the St Mirren game, and Scott Allen was saying, what's the point in changing him? But where is the tipping point? The tipping point must be this game today. If they lose 2-0, it has to be. You cannot continue losing games in the manner they're losing them.
Yeah, and you can see Billy touched on it. We can see the pictures coming in here. The stands emptying very quickly. Of course, the St Mirren fans away in the corner, absolutely delighted, and so they should be. A really big afternoon for them. Their Ibrox will try and bring you managerial reaction between now and the end of the programme. Elsewhere, Annan Athletic 2, Alloa Athletic 2, Andy Graham with equaliser for the Wayside. Inverness Cali Thistle have gone 1-0 up away at Kelty Hearts. Alfie Babbage on 73 minutes. That's you right up to date with all the latest scores. Let's get to Tannadice. As I said, Michael Vimmer's first game in charge of Motherwell this afternoon. Alan Preston, what's happening?
It's not going well for them. They've not really created much. Masmanisis had a couple of efforts for them. One in the first half just by the post, one in the second, just a really good save from Jack Walton. But Dundee United deserve to be ahead. They've had chances, shots from Payton, but the goal came in 31 minutes. It's a brilliant cross from Strain on the right hand side, and there's the top man and marksman Dalby getting across his centre half and heading it into the back of the net. Dundee United have been by far the better side. Motherwell just can't get Lennon Miller on the ball. For me, he's playing too deep, needs to play further up the park and create more. He needs a lot more from his side, Michael Vimmer, but he'll learn a lot today. That some of these players are maybe just not good enough at the moment, because as it looks, Motherwell are going to lose this game. They're not creating enough. The score at the moment with 15 minutes to go is Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0.
And also, as it looks, Dundee United will reclaim third spot in the table, Willie Miller, because it's a really disappointing game up there at Pittodrie.
It is, yeah. I think from both sets of players, the quality definitely has not been there, Kenny, that's for sure. And it's been an even game, and if it finishes 0-0, although the bag's on the ball just now, see if we can create something round about the Kilmarnock goal. Morris says, it's a good ball towards the back post, no one there. And even when you do get a good ball into the box, there's no one there to take advantage of it. So really disappointing, still 0-0 here at Pittodrie.
Thanks to Willie Miller there. In contrast, a wonderful game again for you up in Dingwall. John Robertson.
Yes, and County are managing it really well at the moment. They've taken both their frontmen, Phillips and Hale, off. They've brought in Jordan White and young George Robertson, who's a real rapid, quick player who's caused all sorts of problems. County are just sucking Dundee in now and hitting a break. Chilvers, another great save from McCracken there. They've got the two goals, early in the second half, which has taken the game away from Dundee after Dundee had opened the scoring through Simon Murray after just 5 minutes. But the equaliser deservedly came from the aforementioned Phillips when he bundled it home. Then 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the second half has really put Ross County on easy street here. It was first Akil Wright with a wonderful acrobatic scissor kick, and then just a minute later they went 3-1 up when Noel Chilvers just rolled the ball at the back of the net after a good run from Phillips. Dundee have thrown a wee bit at them. Jordan McGee's had a couple of headers that have went just past the post, and Finlay Robertson a long range shot. Simon Murray had a wee half chance, but County are just sucking them in, hitting them on the break, and we're now just 12 minutes to go. It looks like the points are going to stay here in Dingwall, which will be a massive win for the home side and create a buffer between them and Dundee, who will remain, if it stays as it is, in 11th place.
Thanks to John Robertson, and we touched on this earlier in the programme. We know it's tight down at that end of the table, but it's got to be really concerning for Dundee fans right now, particularly with the poor defending we've seen in recent weeks.
Poor defending. I just think the performance levels has not been there. Something that, you know, Tony Docherty seemed to have sussed out at Dundee. He had a style of play, the way of working. There was standards and expectations, I think, even in games that perhaps they didn't quite get the result, but it just feels like they've lost their way in recent weeks. The run of form hasn't been good, and then when you even look to change it in the game, I don't think he's getting the same responses that he would have done at some point in his tenure as the manager there at that club. So they find themselves in a real spot of bother down at that bottom end of the table, and if it continues to go the way in which it's going, it's going to be a sore run into the end of the season to see where they end up.
4 for 2-0 up away at Bonnyrigg Rose. A Somerville own goal there on 81 minutes. Also Montrose 0, Queen of the South 2, Liam Smith on 80 minutes. So in the top flight, we kicked off. We'll get a full-time report. We'll hear from the managers later. What a game it was at Easter Road. Hibs 2, Celtic 1. Current scores: Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 0, Rangers 0, St Mirren 2. Pictures coming into us here in the studio. The Rangers fans leaving in their droves there at Ibrox. Ross County 3, Dundee 1. Let's get back into the Championship. We had a goal recently from Chick Young down there at Somerset Park. What's happening now, Chick?
Well, Scott Brown's just been yellow carded, having a real go at the referee, Don Robertson. It wasn't happy with something that had gone on earlier. The tide has turned, I have to say, and I did say on air that I felt Livingston a grip in the game, but that fantastic equaliser from Marco Roos, what a solo run it was down the left hand side, jinking on his right foot past 3 or 4 Livy defenders, and what a shot he delivered into the back of the net beyond Jerome Pryor, and that has re-energised Ayr United, I have to say. The fury of Scott Brown down there having a go at the referee, but he's having a go at his players, trying to lift them as well, and the tide has definitely turned in this match. Ayr United getting forward, desperate to get all 3 points, and as we've said in the programme, Kenny, I think Livingston really want to avoid defeating this. I think it'll be a huge step back the way for them if they don't capture something out of this game. At the moment, it's Ayr United 1, Livingston 1.
Yes, Alan.
Unlucky. As the ball went in the box, he takes a really, really good touch as Lucas Stevenson, and it flips up, and you think he's going to hitch kick it over his head. He just gets it horribly wrong. Motherwell hanging on a little bit here at Tannadice, but it's still 1-0 to the home side.
No penalty here.
Yes, Billy.
Just been decided, no penalty. I think it was from Insiala who had a shot. The goalkeeper blocked it, and kind of spun up. I don't know if it had a hand or something.
It's an overhead kick from Insiala, which was headed towards goal, but it's never a penalty kick. It does hit his arm, but he's tucked in. Bumono, it's not a penalty.
Yeah, so no penalty given. But then Dessers had a header just after that, was blocked as well from that overhead kick, Rory. So Rangers try to put on the pressure. They've made the subs now, Leanne, by Ramion and Lawrenson, but they've not been at the races so far.
Alloa 3-2 up now away, and an Athletic. Josh Gentles with the goal on 82 minutes. Brighton 4-0 up away at Southampton. Jack Hinchelwood on 82 minutes. The latest scores in the Scottish Championship for you this afternoon. As we've been hearing, Ayr United 1, Livingston 1, Dunfermline 0, Queen's Park 0, Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1, Wraith Rovers 2, Hamilton Accies 0. Let's then get to that game at Firhill. What's happening there now, Gully Singh?
Yeah, Kenny, it's not been great since that equaliser from Ben Wilson for Airdrie. I don't know, but both sides can't seem to find that moment of quality. Plenty of changes for both teams as well. Brian Graham's went off for Thistle. He's back on the touchline screaming instructions. I felt like there'd be a goal here to decide it, but it doesn't look like it based on the quality. But yeah, still currently Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 0. Airdrie 1.
Thanks to Gully Singh there in League 1, Annan Athletic 2, Alloa Athletic 3, Cove Rangers 1, Dumbarton 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Montrose 0. Queen of the South have just scored a third goal in that game. 5:30 start. Stenhousemuir will be at home to Arbroath in that game. And in League 2 this afternoon, Bonnyrigg 0, Forfar 2, Clyde 0, Spartans 2, East Fife 0, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, Edinburgh City 2, Stranraer 2, Stirling Albion 0. Back to Tannadice, Alan Preston.
That's a decent cross on the left hand side, just not enough bodies in the box for Motherwell. They need to get more men forward if they can. You can see the manager and the players are turning around as well. When Dundee United have a bye kick, Kenny, they all look at the manager to see who should we be picking up. You know, even the likes of Andy Halliday's looking over. They'll push forward and pick up Strain, or they'll sit back and pick up Campbell, and the manager's instructing them, pushing them about the pillar to post.
Alan, for United fans, as we were saying earlier on, it's been a terrific season for them. They're back into third spot, but you felt they needed a win today on the back of 4 games in all competition without a win. Yeah, but it's been difficult games for them. I have been. I've given them that. But yet, and I'm sure Jim Goodwin will be delighted. You know, going back into if the result stays at Pittodrie, back into third place, they'll be absolutely flying. It's been a wonderful return to the Premier League for Dundee United. It really has, and we're hoping they can continue on. Yeah, as I said, they're back into third spot at the expense of Aberdeen this afternoon. Let's get back to Willie Miller at Pittodrie. Willie, we felt it was important that Aberdeen kicked on from that win last weekend, and it's just not really happened, has it?
It's not. No, Kenny, it's not. It's been really disappointing. And, you know, when you think that there's almost 17,000 here to watch this as well, and, you know, it's not been good enough. It's been a game where it's just been about effort, very little quality. You know, both sides going at it, absolutely, and it's going from end to end, but it's nothing really to kind of get you up out your seat. We had a couple of incidents, you know, in the first half. That's about it. Aberdeen are pushing just now. What is it, 82 in the clock, so time's running out for them. Yeah, they're a wee bit behind there. There were 2 big VAR calls right towards the end of the first half. There was a penalty claim for the away side. That was waved away just a few seconds later. Aberdeen had the ball in the net, but that was ruled out for offside. So we've got a possible penalty check at one of the grounds. I'm hearing that coming through.
Yeah, it's up here at Dingwall. Jordan White got his shirt tugged a wee bit. It wasn't a great deal in it. It's just quickly overruled, but it's still 85 minutes gone. Dundee they just look so lacklustre now, and Ross County are freewheeling in to 3 points.
I'm really surprised at that, Ken. I mean, the Dundee side who played both Old Firm teams not so long ago were immense and were unlucky not to take more points than they did out of those 2 games. So I think Tony Dockett will be really surprised. Not just you know, anyone can lose a game of football, but as John just said, they're so lacklustre, you would expect more.
Yeah, and as for County, John, we have to give them a lot. Yes, Alan.
Chance for Murrow. Keeper's now lying on the ground. The play's gone on. The referee's had to stop it. The referee rightfully stops it, in my opinion. It's a free kick.
Chance. Nisbet off the post. Oh, well worked down the left-hand side. Nielsen setting up Nisbet. Nisbet thought he had scored, did everything right, opened up that left foot, struck it sweetly towards the goal, and it rebounded off the post. Still goalless.
You'd fancy him there as well, Willie.
Absolutely.
I know he missed one last week, but then he scored straight after. His confidence will be back. The Nisbet of old would have found the corner, not a problem.
Yeah, a real lack of quality, you have to say, in that game this afternoon. John, just to go back to your game in Dingwall, it feels like a significant afternoon for the home side there. And you've spoken a lot about their solid home form. It's not been so great in recent weeks. Actually done so much better away from home. This is a statement win this afternoon.
That was their worry, was that, you know, they hadn't won for 18 months and they've won 4 of their last 5 away games. So they've sorted out their away form, but their home form hadn't won since November 23rd. So to win this today, ahead of, as I said, a couple of, they'll see winnable games as well this week. They travel down to Perth on Wednesday, and then they have Kilmarnock back here. So, you know, this win today, they'll really be eyeing up another couple of wins, and suddenly not even looking at over their shoulders at the relegation playoff, but possibly top 6.
Yeah, the big games keep on coming. St Johnstone home to Hearts tomorrow on Sports on Tuesday evening. Celtic home to Aberdeen, and then 5 games, Open All Mic special, Wednesday evening on Sports on Cove Rangers 2, Dumbarton 1, Fraser 5 with the goal there on 87 minutes. Let's get back to the game at Ibrox. Billy Dodds, the pictures coming into the studio here. The Rangers fans, there's not that many of them left in the stadium, but they will give the manager, I'm sure, quite the reaction in the full-time whistle.
Oh, they've all the ones left in the stadium. The rest are just simply gone, and they've not had enough to keep them here. Rangers huffing and puffing, but not really creating chances. And St Mirren had a header from a corner that again Butland a few minutes ago looked dodgy at. Comes for it. Marcus Fraser won it. He was given a by kick, so it was Fraser that got the contact. And then Rangers going up the other end and just can't fashion out an opportunity. You can hear the boos just now from the fans left in the stadium. It has not been a good day for Rangers. It has been a fantastic day so far for St Mirren.
There's also not a big enough disparity in the stats for Clement to lean on that this week. So
he does that a lot, doesn't he?
He does it a lot, and there's not, 15 for Rangers attempts, 9 on target. 15, 9 for St Mirren. I think St Mirren are actually ahead on shots on target, unless I've read that wrong. It just flashed up quickly, but there's certainly not enough of disparity there for Clement to come out and say we had X amount of shots, we had X amount of chances, we should have been doing better with them. It's just simply not there for him. So interesting to hear him, Billy.
Yeah, it could have got worse, Rory. Yeah. Smith had come on as a sub, got the ball on the right hand side, and Olasanya was gone again. And if he hits the right pass, it was lucky it cannoned off a Rangers player, because it would have put him right through and goal. But that chance was lost as well. It's been a really poor show. I keep on going back to it. If you've had a poor season and you get a wee opportunity, they're not going to win the league, but you get a wee opportunity to cut it to 10 points. You get out and you do your damnedest to make sure you get a result. They have been so poor
not been
today.
able to deal with pressures. It goes back quite a wee while now with the Rangers side.
Billy, a lot of credit, as you've been saying, has to go to St Mirren this afternoon. What's worked from them? What's been key to getting this result?
I think that the word is brave today. I don't know if beating Rangers 2-1 in Paisley a few months back has given them the real belief to go, we're having a go today. And maybe just where Rangers' problems are, they can realise they're not great at the back. They're suffering with confidence. They didn't play well against Hearts, but got the win after being beaten by Queen's Park. I just think Stephen Robinson and his men have been brave, but you still have to go out and keep the ball and create chances, and they've looked so comfortable. I've not seen a team for a long time get the ball down and pass it and really look comfortable on the ball and with authority to go and make a pass and create a goal. And here they go again. They're out on that right hand side. It's Smith again.
It's crazy as well, Billy, how many weeks in a row was it Rangers away form. They finally win at Tannadice and Tynecastle, and now they're get beat off Queen's Park, and it looks like for all the money in the world they're going to lose to St Mirren at home.
6 added minutes at Tannadice for Michael Wimmer's Motherwell to get back in the game. Dundee United lead 1-0.
Do they deserve anything, Alan Preston, Motherwell up there
they
at Tannadice?
No, not for me. They've pushed a little bit in the last 10 minutes, not done enough, not really put the United keeper Jack Walton under any pressure, or the Dundee United back for that matter. And United at the moment are sailing to 3 points and back into third place.
Yeah, a chance for Kilmarnock on the break there, Kenny, as well. Marley Watkins it is, but it's a weak effort from him. So much so that he's been invited to take the rest of the game and sit on the bench, but he should have done much better.
Oh, what a miss.
Yeah, back to Dingwall, John Robertson.
McGee, what an opportunity for Jordan McGee to give us late drama. We're into the first minute of 4 added on time. What a ball to the back post. He just needs to nod it into the back of the net from about 4 yards. He sent it past the post, and with that goes any slight chance that Dundee are getting anything out of this game in Dingwall.
Yeah.
Full time, Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1.
Thanks to Gully Singh. So in contrast to Dundee, Rory Roy, Sam Dalby, what a signing he has been. Top scorer in the league, 11 goals ahead of Kuhn, Kyogo and Cherny. They've all got 10 goals, 23 appearances for the striker, but a great bit of business from Jim Gooden.
Yeah, and he's one that even on the eye he looks good. We spoke earlier about Dessers, and his stats and stuff are good, but there's things you need to tidy up on. But Dalby has been immense.
Sorry, Rory,
no, that's okay.
Assistant manager try to get the ball back, runs into the Dundee United dugout, and the fourth official's right over. Can't be doing that. Stay in your own place.
Yeah,
love his enthusiasm.
Aye, but you can absolutely see the frustration there, and also frustration at Pittodrie this afternoon. Willie Miller, how would you sum up this Aberdeen performance?
Not good enough, I would say, Kenny, particularly in the back of the Dundee result for them. They haven't created enough. They've had a couple of opportunities in the second half, probably the better opportunities, although Watkins had a chance there when he was through at a tight angle and didn't do very well with it. But no, the threat, the Kevin Nisbet, the chance that he had there, that turns games, doesn't it? The one that he gets at Dundee, makes all the difference. If that one ends up in the back of the net, then of course it turns it around. Listen, the fans are still with him. remarkably. I don't see too many gaps in the south stand as I'm sitting here in the main stand, so they're still with them. I think it's the energy that's in the game. It's going from end to end, but it's lacking quality. What are we, 90 minutes we are now, so time is definitely running out. I think that's the second time I've said the corner coming in from the left hand side. Oh, it's in the back of the net! It's the bag! It's a new signing, the new striker. As the corner come in from Clarkson, the header down, and there he was to just lift it into the roof of the net. So, you think that turns the mood round here at Pittodrie? You bet it does. 1-0 Aberdeen.
Certainly turned your mood anyway, Willie Miller. Finally something to cheer about.
Exactly.
That's a big goal, isn't it? We'll just wait and get a rerun, certainly in the studio. It looks like a neat finish.
Big celebrations there, and it meant a lot.
Yeah, you can see the players exactly what it means to them. Aberdeen, they've been in a really tough run of form, and what a time to go and grab what could be a huge 3 points. He's enjoying it anyway.
Yeah, just waiting for a replay to come in here. He's kissing the turf there. Pittodrie, that clearly means a lot, and here we're getting a replay now.
Comes out. Yeah, it's all about set pieces. Such a big thing in the modern game.
Are you ready for the
really instinctive
injury time at Ibrox?
Yeah,
9 minutes.
A glimpse.
9 minutes.
Billy.
Full time.
Here's a chance for
3-1 Ross County.
Fantastic. Thanks to John Robertson there. A really good victory. They had to come from behind in that game. John
last chance for
Somerset Park.
Livingston here. Free kick from Robbie Muirhead just outside the box. Oh, what a goal! Oh, that is unbelievable! What a strike from Muirhead! Left-footed. It was getting all the way up in Much's top right-hand corner. In the bins, you have 1 or 2 Livy fans on the park. Disappointment for Ayr United, but my goodness, what a goal! What a free kick! What a winner that is, and that has a huge impact on the championship unfolding, because Falkirk thought it was their weekend, but as we stand, Livingston have dragged themselves into second place, and that is a fabulous goal. I'm sure the full-time whistle will go right at the end of this, and the re-centering. The referee is pointing over to the linesman. I don't know if there's been a bit of drama down there with the dugouts. I don't know what's happened there. They're trying to make substitutions. That's what they're trying to do. Livingston just to I mean, we're way into time added on here.
He's capable of that, Robbie Muirhead. He's done it before. He'll do it again. He's a big guy, big stature, but my goodness, he can hit the ball with his left foot.
Incredible striker of the ball.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
I tell you what, and the world's gone mad. Chip Young talking about in the bins.
Tell you what, 90 plus 6 minutes as well. He's waited for that. Couldn't have timed it any better, to be
Fantastic,
fair.
yeah,
Massive goal.
yeah.
He's been a brilliant signing for Livingston as well. Because Robbie Muirhead's such a loss for Greenock Morton.
There you go, Kenny. That's it. That's the winner. Substitute must have been on for about 3 seconds. But what a strike when you see these pictures of this. What a winner. Dramatic fashion. Falkirk thought it was their weekend. It turned out to be Livingston's. They have narrowed the gap. They have leapfrogged Ayr United into second place. Goals coming from Danny Wilson in the first half. There was a fantastic equaliser from Mark Carews' solo run, but my goodness me, you'll not see a more dramatic winner in a football match than that free kick. What a strike it was from Robbie Muirhead. All 3 points to Livy. It finished here, Ayr United 1, Livingston 2.
We love the championship. It always delivers. Just a quick full time from Gully Singh at Firhill. Partick Thistle home to Airdrie. Gully.
Yes, Kenny, it's ended here. Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1. There was boos at the full-time whistle. It was a drab 1-1 draw. It wasn't the start the new interim management duo Brian Graham and Mark Wilson were hoping for. Positive signs for the Diamonds in the early stages before the home side stung the visitors on the break. Kenil Megwa fed Brian Graham for the opener in 15 minutes. It looked like it was a second for the New League Thistle on 37 minutes. Ben Stanley appeared to be searching for Graham at the back post. His curled effort sent beyond Kieran Wright, hit the post, it bounced back out. Chalmers found some space on the follow-up. His effort kept out by Wright. It was 10 minutes into the second period. Ben Wilson, who else, he produced a leveller for Rhys McCabe's side. Adam Frizzell, he led a break. He picked it Wilson, he kept his cool to square the match. There was a big penalty claim for Thistle on the hour mark as Kieran Wright appeared to clatter the Thistle attacker after a defensive error. It was deemed no penalty. Brian Graham, the coach, was replaced later on to take his place on the touchline. But the game fizzled out with a lack of quality on show between both sides. So it ended Partick Thistle 1, Airdrie 1.
Thank you to Gully Singh.
Paradise Kenny, Dundee United 1. Back to winning ways for them. Michael Wimmer's Motherwell, 6 straight defeats now, 0.
Yeah, and again, Sam Dalby showing his worth to United, Alan.
magnificent header to win any game. Brilliant balling from Strain, great header from Dalby. He's been such a good find for them from Wrexham. You know, they'll be hoping they can try and tie him up for next season if they can, but he's been pivotal to it. And Dundee United sitting in fourth, I think, obviously with that goal up at Aberdeen. They deserve to win, Dundee United. Motherwell, they'll get to the training ground next week with their new manager, but he'll learn a lot today from his players, but he certainly needs more in that attacking third.
Right, there's a lot of stoppage time to be played at Ibrox. We'll get to Billy Dodds in a few minutes' time. Let's get back to the game at Pittodrie. I know there's probably a fair bit of time to go there, Willie, because there was quite a long delay for VAR in the first half.
Yeah, there was a bit. We're 95 minutes now on the clock, so I don't think there can be too much more to go. I didn't manage to notice what the fourth official had put up, to be perfectly honest, but Kilmarnock not giving up the ghost, that's for sure. They've got Aberdeen pinned back. Aberdeen, just defending, trying to make sure that they don't give anything away this late in the game. It was 90+1 when the goal was scored by new signing Dabag. He took it well. It was a good, a well delivered corner. He does deliver them well, does Clarkson, to the back post. Kevin Nisbet actually chests the ball down. He should be picked up. He's not. He chests it down in the bag, puts it into the roof of the net. But Kilmarnock, maybe their last chance of the game to get something. They've got a throw in down in the right hand corner. It hasn't been one of quality, but it's always kept your interest, and it looks as though Aberdeen are going to add to that one that they had against Dundee and stay in third spot.
Thanks to Willie Miller. Let's get back to Ibrox. For the Rangers fans that are left there on the full-time whistle, Billy Dodds, there's going to be quite the action. In contrast, these St Mirren fans away in the corner, what a very special day for them, of course, on the back of that great success on Boxing Day at home to Rangers.
Yeah, they'll be celebrating again, and there's not many Rangers fans here to...
Full-time 1-0 Dons.
Thanks to Willie Miller up there. So full-time, we'll get some full-time reports for you. We'll try and get as many managers in between now and the end of the programme. So a really important win, albeit a late one for the Dons up there against Kilmarnock at Pittodrie. But let's get back to Billy Dodds at Ibrox. Once again, a real story developing there. Another dreadful afternoon. Some of our pundits have called Rangers' performance today truly awful, and that was in the first half. It's got a whole lot worse in the second period, Billy Dodds. And the question has to be asked. I know Patrick Stewart, CEO, came out during the week and he said they were sticking by Philippe Clement. He didn't want to disrupt things ahead of their next game, of course, in the Europa League. But really, can the manager survive this?
I'd be surprised, Kenny, I've got to be honest. The Union Bears are still here. You were asking me who was still in the stadium. Not many Rangers fans, but I'm sure you'll hear them what they think at the end. The Union Bears behind the goal are still there. I think they'll be voicing their opinion very soon. I think it'll be difficult for the manager after this. I mean, Queen's Park was bad enough, but they said they were sticking by him, whether it was financial or not. They have a big decision to make now and what they're going to do, even going into Europe, because it has been such a lacklustre performance. It has been scary for Rangers fans to watch. Even in injury time, when you put up 9 minutes, you think they'll have a go. The players just aren't responding. It's as simple as that.
Billy, I think if you're the board of directors and you're sitting in that stadium today watching that, as you say, the 9 minutes of injury time went up. Normally in a day that Celtic drop points in the Premiership, you would see a response from Rangers with a later kick-off. You would see the fans galvanise with that. The performance has offered absolutely nothing. The result as it stood offered absolutely nothing. And when you see the fans exiting the stadium at the stage in the game in which they have done, I don't know if you can watch this much longer. You could put it down to the away performances before. Home form wasn't too bad. The Queen's Park result, this performance this afternoon, you really are clutching at straws if they're going to use Europe as an excuse not to dispose of the manager.
Yeah, it's the amount of fans, you're right, Leanne, that have left it, and it has been flat as a pancake. I mean, it has been so poor. It's as poor as I've seen them. I've seen them not play well on a lot of occasions this year, and there's been a lot of inconsistency, but this is the worst I've seen them.
Yeah, and very telling. We can see the pictures. The viewers will get the pictures very soon coming in from Ibrox in the full-time whistle, Rory Loy. But the manager there, Philippe Clement, on the touchline, he looks gone to me. There's no energy. There's nothing there anymore. You get a feeling he perhaps knows his time is up.
Yeah, I mean, how it's taken to this point for him to realise that, I'm not quite sure. And listen, we could do the old, it's never nice, saying somebody should lose their job, etc. But it is the business we work in, and the team's not done well enough. I don't know how many Rangers fans going along there today would have believed that they would have won the game comfortably, if at all. Kenny, you'd said, or we were chatting about the fact that Rangers were at home, and I think there was a flippant comment about traffic, and I said, well, we'll see how many fans are left when St Mirren score.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see any way that Rangers weren't going to concede at least one today, and that's transpired to be the case, and it's the lack of fight. I genuinely think if Celtic had went on and won today, you probably would have seen a different Rangers performance.
Just hit the bat.
They simply cannot handle pressure, and they haven't been able to do so for an incredibly long time.
There you go, full time, you can hear the response, but a brilliant day for St Mirren. They have been superb today, we can't forget that. It's finished at Ibrox. Rangers 0, St Mirren 2.
Yeah, thanks to Billy Dodds. We will hear from the Rangers manager. Come on, I can see him, he's going straight up the tunnel. He shook hands with Stephen Robinson, and he's straight up there. Stephen Robinson, in contrast, of course, out celebrating with his players. It's been a fantastic double for these St Mirren players and their fans over Rangers, going on the back of that Boxing Day victory. Rory Loy, of course, used to play for the club, and Stephen Robinson, we touched on this before the programme today, once again he finds himself in the top 6. What a job he is doing.
Yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I genuinely think sitting in that changing room before the game, it's a manager's job to instill belief and confidence, even if they don't believe it at times. I genuinely believe his team talk pre-match would be, we can win this, and I genuinely think he would believe it himself, and it's transpired to be the case. Worthy winners, took both goals really well, good finishes. Slight bit of controversy in the first one, but it's deemed there was no contact. If that is the case, then it's a legitimate goal, and Rangers offered nothing. You never felt for a second they were going to get back into the match. St Mirren thoroughly deserved to win, and thoroughly deserved to be where they are in the league.
But there's a substance to that belief, because they've had good results against Rangers already this season. They've matched them, more than been a match for them.
Been better.
The reality for Rangers now under this, Philip Clement's tenure, nobody fears Rangers. There is no fear factor going to Ibrox this afternoon. You're right, Rory. They would have went there, yes, looking to motivate your players and ensure that they were, in firm belief themselves that they could get a result, but they didn't need to think too much about it, because they were more than a match for Rangers. Tactically, player for player, all over the pitch, far superior in every department this afternoon. Rangers huffed and puffed, as Billy's described, throughout the afternoon, but look, and I know Rangers have got some injuries as well. I'm looking at Nsiala and the pitch in terms of a defensive display this afternoon. That's got to be one of the worst that you've seen. As a Rangers fan, if they don't remove Philip Clement from his position, or he doesn't understand that his position is now untenable, they're going to vote with their feet, and it's going to be a really sad ending to the season. Whether they progress in Europe or they don't, I just don't know how much more of that you can tolerate.
I think as well, Kenny, in terms of the structure, the tactics, Rangers on paper, and the game's not played on paper, that old cliche, have a better side this St Mirren, okay? You cannot rely on that. You cannot rely on just turning up and winning because you feel you have, player for player, better players. There needs to be a structure, tactics, communication. They look all over the shop, and St Mirren were the polar opposite and thoroughly deserved their 3 points, but there's major issues at Ibrox.
Yeah, we can see the St Mirren players over celebrating with the fans in the corner there at Ibrox, and I think from a Rangers perspective, the most worrying thing today would be how comfortable it was for St Mirren during that game. So what we'll do now, we'll go through all the classified scores for you. We'll look at the Premiership table and of course the Championship table. So tight there, late drama in the Championship again this afternoon, but let's concentrate in the top flight. And what an amazing game we kicked off with today at Easter Road. 12:30 start it was. Hibs 2, Celtic 1. Watch that one on Sports Team this evening, BBC Scotland 7:15. Aberdeen